Ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, all right.
Like it never happened.
All right, guys, we are live again. We are trying this over, so we're going to start again. Goon Squad Pubcast. We are at the Photo City Improv on Atlantic Avenue. Yeah, 543. 543 Atlantic. That's stupid number. This is our week, whatever. Hopefully, turn the lights on. I don't know if you guys can see us or not. Not that big of a deal.
We finally got some comments. Fantastic. Now it's working.
Yeah, now it's working. Now people are joking. We do this every
We
week.
are the Goon Squad Pubcast,
Yep.
and we do this every week.
Yes.
From different pubs and different places, eateries, and whatever this place is.
Yes. As always, I'm Steve. That's Dave.
Hello.
You guys can't see right now. We're waiting to get the lights turned on here.
We're doing something really fun this week with all this lighting, and
Yes,
it's going to get better as it gets darker, I think.
And across the table from me, Betsy. I mean, I'm pointing at her.
Our residential spicy Latina.
Our spicy resident Latina.
I'm here.
And this week's guest is Dan Ross. He's
What's happening, everybody? Behind the mic.
Perfect. I'm still behind the mic.
We tried this a couple minutes ago. Our internet.
We should just park a car outside and turn the headlights on.
Lights on. Our internet cutting it out and in and out. It's like sex.
Whoa. Look
So
at
we-
that lighting you're finding.
Thanks when the sun goes down.
So we decided to start this over.
We probably could take that black curtain down, give us a little bit more light.
3 minutes from now, the Lost Boys show up.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
The sun's going down. We're losing light.
All right. So we were talking before we had a restart. A father,
Look at everybody jumping in. It's
a guy
exciting.
locally had his daughter receiving messages at 4 o'clock in the morning from a older gentleman for proposition. Would that be the word? Yeah.
I think,
To show.
is it a proposition if you just
Call
want
it dick pickup proposition.
Yes. Saying that
We're
you wanted
fancy.
to send dick pics.
fancy dick pic?
Sending dick pics. Girl, and I mean, Dave and Dan are fathers, and we kind of went through that whole, like, what the hell would you guys do in that situation? Like, we kind of got off topic on that, but what the fuck would you do?
That's a super anxiety moment, you know, just thinking about it makes me kind of crazy. So a kid punched my daughter in the face once, and I wasn't quite sure what to do with that. Before I found out that she was actually being the bull, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to go to his house and beat up the kid, or do I, like, pull the kid outside and beat up his father? Like, I feel like that would be that's got to be the justice. Listen, you hit my daughter, I beat up your father in front of you.
Makes perfect sense to me.
Right? Like, that's...
And then you show up and it's like one of the like O'Doyles from like the Happy Madison movies.
Right. It'll be my luck. He'll be three times bigger than me.
Just for everybody that's watching, can people tell us if you can hear? I just got a text message that somebody couldn't hear me, and I had to turn up my microphone, even though I hate being told what to do.
Yeah, sight and sound.
That's not what she said, Steve.
Yes.
I feel like I'm underwater.
Also, you guys have to remember there is a band in the back room playing, so we're trying to compensate for that. Whatever. My fucking internet sucks. I don't want to jump on your Wi-Fi either. This is working fine. Fucking, we're going back at it. Anyways, Dave got lost. With us is Dan Ross. He is the owner of Artisan Tattoo Shop on Lake Avenue in Charlotte. What's your address?
4363 Lake Avenue.
4363 Lake Avenue.
Yeah, we're right just past the Parkway. First brick building on the left.
Oh, yeah. I know where that is.
Yeah.
Right next to the smoke shop. Yeah, that's what everybody says. There's that drug paraphernalia store right next door to you guys.
Kitty
I
corner.
know exactly where you're at.
Kitty corner from Elab. I actually was just there the other day buying some
He lived on there
background
forever.
bikes.
You know, nobody ever says the multi-denominational Catholic freaking school across the street.
No, I bet it
Right
was.
across from that?
I know exactly where it is.
I went there and did nothing once because we're atheists. That's what
I was going to say, that's what you do
we just
at
meet there.
church. Nothing.
Do you think your phone can handle my Wi-Fi too? Because I got no signal here. I don't want to interrupt though.
So what would you do, Dan? I mean, how do you handle that?
How would I handle a young man loosely turned, or a man of any age sending a proposition like that to my child?
Well, I feel like, you know, at 14 you can be like, look, settle down, Seabiscuit. But once you get past like the age of your kid, like you're not even a peer. You're just a creepy guy.
There's an issue that I was recently talking with one of my neighbors, and we sit every morning for the past 2 years at the same bus stop with our kids on the bus, and his daughter has recently come to a specific age where she's at like a line where it's not just the fact that there's a discrepancy between her being 16 or 17 and the person being 18 or 19 or 20 or 40 or whoever's trying to message her, but there's a weird line that's when you're 17 years old, and even if you're dating an 18-year-old male, female, it's not really up to the parent at that point. It actually comes into a state thing, which I have no clue about. So
you're talking about
statutory and all that can really come down on it. What if it came down to 14-year-old male messaging my 14 or 13-year-old daughter, 16-year-old male, 18-year-old male, 17 or 16-year-old daughter, whatever, same ages? Hopefully that wasn't requested by my child.
Right.
And even if it was, there's this leeway where I once again want to smack my child upside the head, which has not happened but once in a store when they were very young and just they weren't listening. But I really want to show up and beat the crap out of not only that child, depending on the child's age, but mostly, as you said, one of their parents for letting these things happen, because what it really comes down to is it takes a village. You know, it takes more than just that child's own actions. It comes down to the fact where it really is, where did this learned behavior come from? Because it is a learned trait and it's not a born trait.
Sure.
It's ignorance that's passed on, and I don't understand why any male of any age, be it 16 or 58 years old at this point in time, thinks it's okay to just, hey baby, what's going on? No, I really don't want to talk to you. This is a Facebook message. Oh, cool, so you don't want to talk? Well, here's a picture of my dick. It's big and meaty, and you should see it.
Yeah.
Why?
You guys do realize dicks to women most of the time, I've been asking you, are fucking disgusting anyways.
Well, I don't know if you've seen mine lately, Steve.
I've heard you discuss.
No, it's just as nasty as it always has been.
Yeah, and it gets weird. You got tattooed, didn't you?
Yes, I do. Gee, I wonder who told you that.
You did on the internet.
Makes sense. I see stuff.
I just feel like every time, when I get asked for a dick pic, I feel like it's a trap, because I'm like, I never asked for this shit.
Admiral Akbar's in the background, in the back of your head, going into trap.
It's a trap.
Right, yeah.
It's a trap.
That's exactly what's happening. I imagine there's 7 girls sitting in a circle like, guys, watch. He's going to show me his dick. We're all going to laugh at it.
They're all sitting around like watching Gilmore Girls eating Haagen-Dazs.
Right.
Let's get a picture of his dick.
What are we going to use it for? I don't know.
Oh, it's so veiny.
I can't get this.
My voice is a little inconsistent today. I went to 311 last night and had a ridiculously good time.
And you were just making fun of a guy with a Sum 41 shirt on?
No, I defended Sum 41.
Yes, you did. I'm only poking a bear here.
No, you're calling him a bear because he's got bears on
I
it.
can't win. There's no lie about that. I'm a huge 311 fan. I love 311. I had a great time.
I wouldn't doubt that you did. I would actually have an amazing time at 311 as well.
They put on an amazing stage show. There's bands that put on really good stage shows, and there's bands that play really well live. They're one of the few bands that I've ever seen that can do both. They play great music live, they entertain the crowd, and they have a lot of fun.
That's awesome. You really couldn't ask for any more, except for like boobs.
My buddy Tommy, my roommate Tommy, just said, did you tell him about the basketballs?
The basketballs.
No, there's...
How about the boat?
I was talking about the Joe Rogan podcast before.
Yeah.
He's got a guest that comes on. He's another stand-up comedian, Ari Shaffir.
Yeah, Ari Shaffir. He's got a new skit that's coming out like next month on Netflix.
Yes.
Yeah, freaking.
In his earlier career, he did a fake skit called The Amazing Racist.
Yeah, Ari Shaffir, the amazing. Yeah. He goes into the laundromats. He goes and picks up like Mexicans.
Yeah. And one time he's in front of a boat, like free boat rides back to Africa, and like black people are walking by. And he's like, "Hey, like, come on, get on the boat." And he's like, "What the fuck? What are you talking about?
Free ride.
Free ride? What? Where?" He's like, "Back to Africa." And he's like, "Man, what the fuck?" He's like, the other guy's on the boat. He's like, "Yo, did you tell him about the basketballs?" Just fucking borderline, just cruel humor. but it's
No,
just
no, he
inside
did the
joke.
whole one where he went outside like the Home Depot in Southern California, and he's like trying to pick up a bunch of Mexican workers, a bunch of freaking migrant workers.
Migrant workers,
Yeah,
yeah.
so he's trying to pick up a bunch of migrant workers who basically don't have papers, and he loads like 10 or 12 of them into the back of his like F-350 or whatever, talking about how he's got a job at his house and needs
And
to be
doesn't he
done.
scream like INS?
Well, no, they pull up outside of INS, and he starts yelling out the back of the fucking window. He's like, INS, la migra, la migra, la migra. And they all go running down the street. So all of them evacuate the back of his truck, and as he's driving away, there's one of them, and he's like, hey, buddy, what's the problem? And this one migrant worker just happened to be carrying a bag of oranges, and he starts throwing oranges at him. Way to fit the fucking stereotype that he was trying to, amazing racist.
He is one of my favorite comedians. He has another show on Comedy Central. This isn't happening, or this can't be happening. They have.
I watched that last night.
They
I
have
watched
comedians come on and they'll give them a topic, and they have to just tell like a real life experience or something like that.
Kind of like a podcast?
But it's not always like,
Yeah, it's a stand-up routine though. Yeah,
it's not always real or fake. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's fake.
Yeah.
But they like prepare for it. It's always pretty entertaining.
No, they're all true stories. Like all they talk about, like a couple people went on acid trips driving down the Highway 1 in California.
I watched
and he's
it.
like, dude, I fucking parked the car somewhere and we couldn't fucking find it. I was like, what the fuck?
I watched the gayest moment ever last night.
I watched
Was
it
it The
in a while.
Notebook?
So what happened was this guy was banging this girl, and he didn't want to like leave the condom there. So he tied it off and threw it next to bed. He woke up the next day and he's like, oh, I'm not leaving it because this girl made base through that shit. So he takes it with him and he stuffs it in like in that side compartment of your car, you know, like so he stuffs the condom in there.
Where the empty cigarette packs go?
Yeah. And he picks up his buddy, and his buddy's like, what did you do last night? And instead of telling him, he reaches over and grabs the condom and he fucking slaps him in the face with it. And the guy's like, you hit me in the face with a full condom?
That's horrible.
But then he was making the point, he's like, well, you really got hit in the part that you fuck with. You didn't really... It's not gay, it's super heterosexual.
Talking about the rolled over, tied off condoms, one of my favorite comedians from back in the day was David Tellin. He used to do the late night Insomniac Hour.
Fucking Insomniac Hour.
Yeah,
He was,
Insomniac Hour, yeah. And when he did that,
horrible.
he's talking about the fact, he's like, you know you have a little dick when? He's like, you're having sex with your girl, and she pulls the condom off, and she ties it off, and she goes, we can use this again and again. And I know because I work with children.
He is one of my all-time...
David Tell's got great stuff.
One of my all-time favorite comics. That guy just... I wouldn't say he really brought it.
No.
With like being dirty. But he...
There's so many that came before. I mean,
Yeah,
we're
but-
talking all the way back, freaking not even just 90s, 2000s,
Yeah.
like 80s.
But he got on like he got a fucking TV show.
Oh, yeah.
Like he just like, I'm gonna fucking be weird. Like,
Yep.
I fucking love David Tell. So Betsy, what's going on with you? You haven't fucking said much today. Fucking include the ladies.
I've been very tired. I've been doing a lot of running around and staying busy all week long, and that included being up at like 4:30 in the morning and not getting home until about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. So
You don't have to ask to get up.
I was asking if anybody else wanted
Oh,
to
fuck yeah.
I was being polite.
Oh, I thought you were saying, is it okay?
No, is it okay if I get up? I know I can get my own drink.
Can
I
you
was asking if any of you asked.
can you grab me a purple haze?
Look at it. Little table candle.
Look at Dave. Dave's
If
fucking.
you lean over, it's
using
kind of like
brain.
a campfire.
Your girlfriend Ombre says we look like we're under the sea. It's
The other sea dance.
It's,
I got it first!
It's really
It's
funny.
enchantment under the sea,
It's really
motherfucker.
funny because we were looking on the internet earlier, and we both I showed her this meme, and it was a picture of Ariel from The Little Mermaid.
Yes.
And it was like when you ask her if she has any sex toys, and it's a picture of Ariel opening
up her
up the
fucking
sea
treasure
chest,
chest,
and she's
yeah.
like, I've got gizmos and doodads aplenty.
I think,
So purple is Jenny, light.
We're trying to figure out light
Yeah, I'm
here.
alright,
Sorry,
brother.
guys.
thank you.
Dan's going up
I
to get
think-
drinks, so
I think that's one of those, what do they call it? Mandela effects. The enchantment under the sea, or is it just the under the sea dance?
it's the enchantment under the sea. There's a dog on the bar. That's awesome. I wish you guys could see this right now. Oh, he's freaking jumping from table to table.
There's so much Shih Tzu on the bar.
Wow. Now, I remember when I went to California, right around my birthday last last year, there was I don't even know, it's on my Instagram. A dog would walk up, and he was a big old dog, like fucking whatever, doesn't matter. And he would get up onto a bar stool, like the ones you guys are sitting on, get the chair to turn, and lay his head on the fucking bar. I gotta fucking just show you a picture so it makes sense to you. And he would just sit there and wait for them to give him a fucking treat. It was fucking out of my... I was like, I'm way too high for this. Like, what the fuck is going on?
This dog wants his snack.
No, that dog meant fucking business. Let me find that picture real fast. So you've been tired. Your mom and her boyfriend or husband?
Boyfriend, they will be moving into the building next week.
Where are they moving into?
My building, they'll be living in the front.
Oh, so they're actually going to stay in the same building?
Yeah, I'm excited. It's like she never left. That's how we were before, like 4 years ago, before she went to Florida. I lived right across the hall from her, so never had to go very far.
So when is she going to be on our podcast?
I will work that out with her when I get...
Try putting this over there.
You said that your mom doesn't drink that often, or she can't drink.
Oh, I look like a Ninja Turtle. What's going on with that?
Did I lose
Oh, it's
that
the
picture?
microphone. Am I? Oh, no, it's just it's the shadows. I'm not used to shadows on our podcast. I look like a Ninja Turtle. Hell yeah. Which one? Whatever the black one was. Is that all the most recent ones?
You said the black one?
They're all turtles.
So I found that
like
picture.
turtles.
Hey, when I tell you I saw a dog sitting on a bar waiting for a dog treat, like
I saw that on another website before, and he wasn't waiting on a dog treat.
you guys can focus in on that.
That's cute.
That fucking dog business. And there was another dog that was just laying on the floor, like it was just a little dive bar in Santa Cruz, and I fucking thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So I figured I'd share that because I saw another dog on the bar. All right, so let's start talking to Dan a little bit.
Yes.
All right. What fucking prompted you to become a tattoo artist? Because I mean, that's your means of income and your way of living now.
That's one of those like weird long stories, and it kind of starts with the premise. I normally get asked with, how did you know or when did you know that you were going to have a ton of tattoos or that you'd be as heavily covered as you did? And it's sweet and sappy at the exact same time.
Yeah.
It was probably around 5-6 years old that I started to realize that there were specific family members in my life that had like these really big black, blue, purple wizard blob spit marks on their arms. And I kind of noticed that the people that had these tattoos at the time, those were the people that kind of smiled more, laughed more. They cried more, they hugged more. You know, those were the people that were just more open and honest at family parties. So I kind of realized that probably around that, like 5, 6, 7-year-old mark. But it wasn't up until I really got into my own artwork around, maybe 13, 14, 15, 16 that I started to really realize what the tattoos were, what they were about, the different levels of art. I started looking at, tattoo magazines and such. And then it was right about the time that I actually really did get my first tattoo that I figured this could be a career for me, because prior to that, I was contemplating going to school for either culinary arts, because I still to this day I love to cook, and I'm really glad I didn't go into it because I'd probably be tired as fuck of cooking all the time. For everybody else coming home, for example, my ex-wife, her fiance, he is a phenomenal chef. He works at a specific restaurant here in town. All day he comes home cooking, and when he comes home, he opens up a can of cold ravioli and just eats that because he's so tired of doing it.
I used to go home, and I worked in kitchens for my whole life, and I'd come home and I'm like, dude, I'm not eating that. I gotta fucking make chicken French, or I gotta make something fucking homemade. I had to eat, not fancy, but I can't do a microwavable dinner anymore because I understand how unhealthy they are.
Yeah, it's no fun. With that, so there was either going into the culinary arts field, or I was looking at something specifically along the lines of like forestry. So I wanted to be completely alone and secluded and just do my own thing and be out in the woods, because I've always done, Boy Scouts, military, everything growing up. And
Look at you fucking...
it was pretty smart.
I'm trying to figure shit out. I'm not worried about comments. I'm worried about fucking
lighting.
Having a story here.
So it was either culinary arts or going into basically becoming a forest ranger.
You're a genius.
And
What a forest ranger?
I wanted to become a forest ranger. I started off at like Weeblos, Cub Scouts, Boy Scouts, got all the way up through like Order of the Arrow, got to that point, was like step below Eagle Scouts, you know, stuff I always enjoyed doing. I still enjoy doing it, but when I got that first tattoo and I walked into the joint, I was tattooed by Kent McKnight in '96 in June at White Tiger. White Tiger's still there on Ridge Road. Great place. Freaking that first tattoo and
we're back.
the smells, the sounds, just everything. It fucking hit me, and I kind of knew it was something that I wanted to go into.
What was your first tattoo?
First real tattoo was the one done by Kent McKnight, and you can't really see it here, but it's considered a Spriggan. It's out of Irish folklore. Kind of looks like, it's called Stray Sod. It's basically this little mischievous creature sitting on a mushroom, and it's a trickster. It would tie your shoelaces together just to watch you fall and get a laugh. Not try to hurt you, but just to fuck with you.
So, a little
Mischievous motherfucker.
You got some mischief going on.
hold on.
I've been called Sour Patch Kid many, many times by multiple friends.
I don't know if everybody that's watching right now can actually see Dan. I mean, he's right there, but he is heavily tattooed, basically fucking everywhere. I mean, a lot of people know you. They call you Dan the Face for some reason. That's your Facebook? No, your Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram Dan the Face is a name I got many years ago.
Is it because of your facial tattoos, or just that's my brother's name, by the way, and that's what they called him in college. He doesn't have any face tattoos, but
They call him Dan the Face?
no, they just call him Face.
Oh.
His name was Face in college, and I'm just like, what the fuck? I saw Dan the Face on Instagram. I'm like, did my brother change his fucking Instagram? Did my brother get an Instagram?
There was,
And I realized it was fucking you.
no, it's one of those things where it kind of came about at the same exact time that I got my face tattooed, but it was also kind of an A-Team reference. So you had the face on A-Team, and that's kind of...
I remember the first time I met you was...
Hibachi.
The first time I ever met you was at a kickball game
Sounds about right.
out in Henrietta, I think it was. One of those fucking...
It's Crittenden or the old GVP.
It was Crittenden, and you were fucking all wearing hula skirts and coconut bras, and I was like, what the fuck? I knew who you were, but I never met you, and I sat there and talked to you for like 5 or 10 minutes, because I think you were playing like first base or something like that. What do you keep pointing at?
My phone that went off.
Did I break
You got
it?
a lot more light though. No, this needs to be read.
Des is calling, your daughter's calling.
Do you have an iPod, or iPhone, or a
No, hold on, let's get her on the air. No. We're not getting his daughter on the air. Yeah, I remember playing kickball, and we were sitting there talking. I think you were playing first base or something like that. I was just like, I sat there and talked to you for like whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like,
as long as it took for me to miss 3 balls and the next person to get fucking kicked out, you know?
Exactly. Yeah, I remember sitting there having a good conversation, and I think that was before you had your tattoo shop. But I know you were tattooing.
Yeah, we've been open now for 8 years, just this past June, so last month. So, and I've been doing. I haven't played kickball the past maybe year and a half. Since the split with the wife, with the children's mother, and since all of that, I tried to play it for a little bit. Great cause. I mean, freaking Rock City Kickball. Now, so much of the money goes to local charities. But
I know they did Golisano. They do a lot of camps and stuff like that.
they switch it out every single season, and it's
Absolutely,
amazing. They bring so much money, and it started off as like.
A bunch of drunk kids.
Yeah, 5 to 10 teams at most. They could barely fill a Tuesday night, and now it's
500.
every single night of the week.
Yeah.
There's
50 games going on at once.
Yeah,
in 5 different places.
the guys who started running it. I mean, Rock City Kickball. They went from doing this as just like a one night of the week, nothing for some charity, to it has encompassed their whole life, and this is all they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. Like I played a lot of kickball. I threw out. I was supposed to join a team, but I
The
just
kiss the balls, the keys balls.
kickballs. I just got too busy. I was supposed to join a team. I should really get back to that girl. Life gets a little fucking busy sometimes, and you get into some fucking dealing with some shit. So I kind of missed out on this season, but I want to get in on the fall season. So if anybody wants to do it,
So if anybody out there needs somebody to play their fall season kickball,
I use soccer.
as long as it's not a Tuesday night.
Yeah, because that's podcast night, motherfuckers, and you all know that.
I like how it took him a second to think about that.
Well, I don't know where Dave went. Oh, Dave's on the phone with his daughter. Did you ever play kickball?
I've never played kickball.
You gotta pick that mic up to your face, girl.
The whole kickball league.
I can't hear a word you're saying.
The whole kickball
There you
league
go.
and drinking with it is kind of intimidating to me because I'm already really bad at running.
Yeah.
Surprise, surprise. But
So,
Depending on how well you kick the balls, you don't
No,
have to run.
I don't have to run.
true.
You can literally like walk up the street, call the cops, not have to worry about shit.
I mean, I have little legs too. I don't imagine the ball going very far. I've always wanted to try. I just never really thought.
I didn't want to say when he was here, but I do like your calves better.
Thank you.
Bringing back an old subject.
That's I'm like something's on fire. Sorry, I'm vaping. So
That's Danny.
yeah, Danny. Hey. Oh, okay. All right, Danny's the owner of Photo City Improv here.
I heard you talking about me.
Yeah.
He's just your legs.
He's been super. Hold on. As soon as they open the door, it gets really loud for a minute. He's been cool enough to let us do our podcast here.
He's been super hospitable too.
He's been super hospitable. He's given us curtains. He's been walking off camera, making lewd fucking suggestions to Dan, like going like that every once in a while. But you guys can't see that, so it's funnier
You've
to
got
us.
like people in 2000, the kids in 2017. They're all doing this dab thing, constantly like this.
Oh,
He's
everybody does.
basically doing the late 90s, early 2000s, like the Triple H, like the straight to the crotch.
I saw that earlier. I hate him.
Is that light actually lighting all of this up, or did it just get better in here?
No, yes, Ron, you did. One of my buddies, we went down to Canisius Lake for the 4th of July. Well, it was the 3rd of July on the lake for the Ring of Fire or whatever. And he said I kicked a kickball on the 3rd of July. Like, that was uncommon. Thanks, Ron. You were in a park kicking a ball around for a little while. So, how was your everybody's 4th of July? Fucking Merca. How'd that go for everybody? What'd you guys do?
I had a barbecue on my back porch with Britter. It was just me and her, and she barbecued me some badass food. It was awesome.
Saw that.
Yeah.
Really good.
Wifey that chick right up. I was about to ask what a mini barbecue consists of compared to a normal or a barbecue.
Well, my family, when we do barbecues, there's like everything. They have the hot dogs, hamburgers, the mac salad, all the side salads, all the regular salads.
Sorry, she's a manager, I guess. What's her name? I want to plug the bar a little bit. Tell them what's coming up. If I can get a list of what's coming up here. We'll get to that later.
Mini
Continue your story.
versus major barbecue.
Mini versus major barbecue. So
Yeah.
we have like hot dogs, hamburgers, the side plates, the chips and dips, the cookies, the brownies, the Spanish rice, white rice, the Asian food. Like they bring a little bit of everything. It's a literal buffet of barbecues. But they don't know when to stop. So there's just so much.
You gotta lean into the mic a little bit.
There's just too much
There you go.
for what they want.
All right. We're gonna do a quick timeout plug. What's your name? I'm sorry.
Hey guys, my name's Hannah Widener.
Hi, Anna.
Hi.
Welcome to the Goon Squad Podcast.
Yeah.
Hey guys.
She's gonna give a quick rundown of what's coming up to the Photo City Improv. If you guys are interested, there's a whole different things going on here. Quick rundown, go nuts.
Cool. Hey, yeah, so I'm Hannah. I'm the venue manager here. So if you're listening and you want to play a show, I'm your gal. Okay, so coming up this week on Thursday, we have a big queer burlesque show for Pride Week, so that's going to be really fun. Men and women are performing, so that's going to be awesome. Yep, that's on the 13th. On the 14th, we've got the Emersons coming in. Bunch of other bands that I didn't write down on this piece of paper. But that show's going to be really awesome. I know those guys made their Facebook page private, but that is on the 14th. That's this coming Friday. Saturday, we have a DJ night that goes till 4 a.m. I know, right?
You guys serve until 4 a.m.?
No, I mean, that's illegal in Rochester, so no. But we will be open and dancing, so you guys can come in as late as you want to.
You guys provide cardboard. I only break dance.
Oh yeah, we do. We got plenty of cardboard, don't you worry.
Perfect.
You know, Kate calls you Break Dance Trophy.
On Sunday the 16th, we've got LA Alex Vine coming through. That show's gonna be sick. It's a Sunday, so I feel like getting down. Now,
You guys, on your Sundays, are you guys still doing the Bloody Mary bar that's up in this floor?
yeah. So
Bloody Mary's baddest ass in town. You come down here. Is Kirsty going to be working at?
Kirsty's gonna be there. Yeah, it's probably my favorite as far as the bar. Yeah.
Out of curiosity, only because I've never been here, and I know that there's probably people that are going to watch this that have never been here. What kind of music is this? Is this all the same kind of music as what's going on now, or?
No, everything. So this past weekend we had this huge punk fest, which was crusty and dirty and amazing. Yeah, it was run by James Von Sims. It was amazing. Yeah, it was so cool. But then the day after we had a play.
Okay.
So we had to clean all of that up the night after. That was crazy.
They were actually doing like syllabus.
Yeah, syllabi, if you will.
A syllabus.
And then, I mean, we've got burlesque, we have DJ nights, we've got Lydia Lunch coming in on the 17th.
Oh, that's Monday. It's supposed to be a really fucking awesome show. It's one of Rochester's like bigger, well-known like punk rock. Freaking, let's get down to this.
She's a legend for sure. And then, I mean, on the 21st, we've got Harmonica Lewinsky, young couples coming
That's
in.
an awesome name.
Those
for a
guys are
band.
awesome.
Harmonica Lewinsky. I started a band called Root Toot Flute, but Harmonica Lewinsky is way better.
Yeah.
I'm fucking changing instruments.
And, I mean, we've got punk shows. We have big acts like today we've got Astronoid in, and they're touring. Who else have we had? I don't know. We do everything. Rock and roll.
It's one of the cooler bars around town simply because of the fact it's not just one of these venues that you can show up to. And as much as I love so many other venues, but it's a specific venue, and we're going to mostly focus on country or rockabilly or that genre.
You guys welcome anything here. That's awesome.
Dude, that's kind of what we pride ourselves on, is making sure that everyone feels welcome here. We already kind of have like a sort of freak, sort of Halloween, like Betty Page vibe, lots of skulls going on, and like
It's very spooky.
I love it. It's very spooky in here.
It's comfortable.
This time on
I've been to
Sprockles.
some bars that have had the same kind of decor, and they're uncomfortable to be in. You feel out of place. This actually feels
It's fun.
It feels
There's
like
mermaids.
it's like being in like your high school dream room. Really.
There's a sign. There's a sign behind the bar that says "Let's get weird." So again, I felt welcome right when I walked in the door.
Perfect.
Yeah, she gave us a tour. This place is fucking gorgeous.
You got a weird vibe,
Awesome.
but you're not afraid to sit down on the chairs, if you know what I'm saying.
Why is everything sticky?
Yeah.
It's not like the showroom on Monroe Avenue.
No, it's
Do you guys welcome local bands too?
most of our shows are local.
How does one get a hold of you guys?
Yes. Yeah. How would you guys?
can
Facebook or?
go to our Facebook page. The phone number there is my phone number. You can call me anytime. Unless you're
Should have
being obnoxious.
never said that to Dave. You're gonna be getting happy breathing and pouring
Let
out.
me rephrase. You can call me about business. Yeah.
So don't send her dick pics, people.
I was just about to say, you actually missed the part of the conversation where we're talking about unrequested dick pics from males.
Let me segue into my band,
There you go.
my comedy band called Hardwood. Yes.
They will accept
Yes.
dick pics.
We have a whole song about dick pics, and we have another song called Bounce on My Dick, which is about things that guys have said to us that are just terrible.
Oh,
so
man.
Can you actually talk about where this band of yours is found? Because I want to go listen to this.
Yeah,
Bounce on My Dick later.
Do you have a CD?
we do actually. We have
You
a.
have it with you.
I don't have it with me.
End of the interview.
I know.
Can we use it from
You can use it. You can totally use it. Yeah, we have a Bandcamp page, so you can find us on Bandcamp.
What are you guys called again? Hardwood?
Hardwood.bandcamp.com,
Awesome.
and we have Facebook and all that shit.
Yeah, if you guys are looking to play a show, Photo City Improv is definitely a place
Send
to fucking
me
do it.
an
Anything you guys
email.
want. Email, no dick pics.
Yeah,
Fucking
yeah.
weirdos.
You might not. Honestly, you're better off emailing me. If you call, probably won't answer. But I might. I don't know.
any dick pics will be traced back and shown to your mothers and your sisters and grandmothers.
And we will
guys,
post, and we
please
will
stop
fucking
doing it.
and we will blow you up on the internet and fucking make you look stupid.
That would blow you up, not blow you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If you
because
send
I'm
me,
gonna Photoshop and doodle it. It's gonna make it fucking weird.
if you guys,
Top hat. Good job, sir.
If you guys send me a dick pic, you will never play here.
Oh, well. Then we lost everybody.
Oh, then we really did.
The band, breaking the band up.
The band.
Cool.
All right, thank you.
We really appreciate you having us here.
Yeah, anytime.
All right, 4th of July, mini barbecue. Finish that fucking story.
Yeah, mini versus major versus micro versus.
Yeah.
How big is your barbecue?
There's a lot.
Can you show us barbecue pics?
3 or 4 picnic tables full of food. It's a literal buffet of different things.
And we're married.
It's awesome.
All right, I'm gonna do this.
So now you're saying this is an ethnic thing. This is like just because it's your family, like it's holy shit, you shove that right in their face.
You project a lot more with
She
you.
might not
This
be
is
that
how I
right
said that when I
tonight.
was younger. When we were in middle school, Mr. Smalley always said, your face is so projectile. And I'd be like, I guess that's okay.
Projectile?
Projectile? I don't think that's.
Yeah, like I can project, I guess.
Would that be projective?
Projectile voices? Projectile adjectives?
Yeah, but he was a fucking music teacher, so.
My,
Yeah, so we knew what we were talking about.
my 11th grade English teacher used to tell me, and he'd yell at me, he's like, Mr. Ross, you always seem to exacerbate the situation. And as he'd say that to me, I'd laugh my ass off and be like, I exacerbate daily. And he'd be like, that's exactly what I'm talking about. And then I actually went to the library on my break one day and looked up the word exacerbate and was like, fuck you, Mr. Smith. You're right. I do take any situation and blow it out of proportions and make it more than it's not.
That happens.
Well, we're never gonna get to the bottom of your barbecue.
That's okay. What you
Was that you and
4 tables.
3 tables of food.
do- We had one really big table.
Was that
full
you
of
and
food
Britter?
For just me and Britter, yes.
So that would explain the Snapchat. Like, this is my bitch.
Yes.
Like, look at my bitch. My bitch cooks.
She took her shirt off and cooked in her bra on my
Is that what that was?
And
Did you
we-
take a picture of that?
And yeah,
It
it
was
was a
like a
Snapchat.
bikini-ish type thing.
I saw
And for
a
that,
wedding.
we thank you.
Her.
Yeah, thank you, Britta.
Thank you, Britta.
Discussing
And it's fine.
I'm sitting on a boat watching Snapchat. Like,
You can cook for me again anytime.
Right. I was in
you
my
cook-
kitchen like,
you can cook for any of us anytime.
I think you should go over to my house and have a micro barbecue. It's almost like the same thing, but it's only like 1 1/4 tables.
Yeah,
Just
and
a quarter
there's only
table.
four.
But I have I've got one
There's
of
only
those-
4 little coals. Like,
No.
so-
I still have like the 50-gallon cooker, all the briquettes, and it just happens.
No, we need 4. It's a micro.
No, it's a micro compared to the mini.
Oh.
What I'm saying
you ever
is,
been to a micro barbecue?
yeah, there's only 6 people there, but I cook for 20. Just all the friends that I thought I had don't show up.
They really do like micro barbecues where you get like a bunch of coals, like hot coals, and you get like a little tiny grill, and you put like meat on a stick, and you just put it over
When you
that.
go to Hibachi, they have like the Angus, like the, or it's not Angus, but it's whatever the good dried aged steak is. Kobe. No, I'm talking about the Kobe, but they bring out like
Kobe!
That's not Kobe.
they bring out like breath mint strips of steak and they sell it to you for $15.
telling you that it's Kobe. Yeah, I think there's only like 5 restaurants in the entire United States that sell real Kobe beef.
Most of them actually just put the shit in the back room and let it dry out.
Yeah, Kobe is super expensive beef. Sorry guys. We continue on. One of the bands just ended, so we're gonna have a bunch of people coming in the background. So if you hear that noise,
There's always people coming in the background for our show.
Which noise?
Yeah,
People
exactly.
coming in the background.
yeah, we're used to random people walking up to our
Fucking
podcast. Like, there's a lot of drunk people. One woman that was
Oh my god, that lady was amazing.
that video actually got deleted for some reason. Oh, that's because we were using copywritten music.
That lady was such...
Some woman came on the show, like at the reunion down in Seabreeze, and she came up and she's like, I want to be on the show. I was like, I don't know who the fuck you are. So, no. And she's like, I want to be on Regis tomorrow. I was like, I don't think he's doing it. So, that's not...
Wait, Regis and Kathy Lee.
Yeah, like she
They're
was like...
still on the air?
No.
I didn't think. I just wanted to verify.
She was going on that show, but it's now Kelly Ripa and whoever the fucking... I
It
don't
used to be
care.
Michael and Kelly. And now
I've been on Richard Bay and Howard Stern, Regis and Kathy Lee. I'm actually slightly jealous.
Well, she's like, I'm going on the show tomorrow. I was like, you're on like a guest? She's like, no. I'm going to watch it. I was like, okay.
So you bought a ticket.
Like, yeah, like, cool. Fucking
Have fun.
Called the 1-800 number for the free ticket where they put you in the way back at the top and no one can see.
And I didn't understand what, like, she wanted to get on the podcast to fucking tell us that. I'm just like,
I don't even remember her at all.
that was the week
That's
that
how
you were
forgettable
in
she was.
Mexico.
Oh.
That's when Corey was guest hosting for us. Oh, and well, shout out to Corey. We have a little bit of a loss in the group. You know Corey.
Yeah, it was.
She had to put down her Pomeranian last night, and she stopped over at the house, gave her a big hug. Very, very unfortunate. She's had that dog for fucking 72 years, I think.
My aunt also put down her dog.
What was the dog's name?
Rocco.
Rocco? Corey's dog's name was Roxy. So Roxy.
That's so weird.
Roxy and Rocco.
Yeah.
And they're in doggy heaven.
Here, salute to them.
Salute. Oh, we haven't cheers yet. Right?
Yeah, no.
Everybody, we need to all get drinks.
Yep.
We're going to take a time out. I'm going to buy you a fucking drink. You go up there, get whatever you want.
I feel so bloated. I had a
You
little...
feel bloated.
I
didn't know what to say that.
Will you give me a purple haze and whatever you want, Dave?
I keep saying that word.
I think you know what I mean.
I'll take a purple haze as well.
Doesn't that mean what I think you're thinking?
So 2 purple hazes.
Oh, I gotta buy you a drink too?
You pointed at me and said, yeah, Dave.
I'll buy you a drink.
Thanks, buddy.
Alright, so how you been, man?
You know, we don't talk anymore now that we do the podcast every week.
we just fucking catch up for the weekend.
We used to talk like every day like little schoolgirls.
Yeah, we giggled.
And now we just podcast.
Yeah.
We yell at each other in the off. You better fucking be there.
Yeah. Dave,
Wake up this week.
we made an agreement that we were supposed to be here at 8 o'clock. Dave sending fucking messages to Betsy saying that he's going to be here at 8:20. I didn't realize it was this far away. I left my house, went and picked up Betsy, and GPS it. I was like 9.5 minutes away, and it's fucking 7:30. I'm like, fuck, I better hurry up. You're laying in bed playing fucking Call of Duty, I'm assuming.
No, that's exactly what I'm doing. I've really been trying to watch BFG, The Big Friendly Giant. I've tried to watch it 4 times. Every time I watch it, I fall asleep.
I don't even.
so-
I have no idea what that is.
It's like a movie about a big fucking giant.
Oh, I'm sorry. We got comments going on here. I have no idea. I'm not getting any alerts. I'm not looking. Hold on.
Oh.
Shit, that one hurt.
Bong. Steven's pasty white face appeared on the screen. His beard glistened with red fury. This is the, this is for our visual, our people that can't see what's going on. Visually impaired.
Yeah, we're live. You want on? Get on the show. Get weird.
Jump on.
Jump on the show.
Jump
man.
in the seat.
Grab a microphone.
Welcome to the show.
Jump on right next to it, right in front of him.
What's your name? What's your mom do for a living?
My name is Ben. My mother is unemployed, but she does. No, that's true. She does collect
Stop it, Dad.
taxpayer money, so she's a professional taxpayer money collector.
Okay.
Very proud of her.
Welcome to the Goon Squad Pubcast. What we do is we go around from bar to bar throughout the city. We got a special guest on every week. Well, usually every week we get somebody on. We sit down and just fucking pick apart people's brains and sit there and drink beer and shoot the shit with each other. And we like pumping the fucking bar up and talking about shows and what they do.
Oh,
So-
you take video too?
Yeah,
What's this we're looking at here?
Yeah, it's video.
Oh, wow.
We got bad lighting. We use Facebook Live, then we save it, and we put it up on YouTube. So
Okay.
usually we fucking really pay attention to the comments, but we're just here to talk,
Sometimes.
man. We're having a talk show. That's what we do.
It's kind of nice. It's fun. Something to do.
Completely unedited, unfiltered, just
Fuck shit, hunt balls, assholes.
whatever comes out, whatever
Exactly.
happens.
We can curse.
So the idea,
don't
what
do
we
it,
wanted to
dude.
do, the idea behind it was we wanted to start a show where if you were watching it, it felt like you were actually sitting at home having
At
a
the
beer
bar,
with these
at the
people.
bar with us, yeah. We went through a couple different names of this show. It was like people you want to drink with. Then it just turned into the Goon Squad Pubcast, and what we do is fucking sit around and drink beer and
Talk to interesting people.
ask questions and tell stories and, fucking have a good time. Pretty fun time.
Awesome. How long have you guys been doing this for?
What is this, our 12th episode?
12th episode?
So we do one episode a week, but with conflicting schedules. She went on vacation to Mexico or wherever the fuck she went. She disappeared for a while.
I don't know where she went.
She went on a
Definitely
cruise.
Mexico.
She went on a cruise to. I know she was in. Not Cozumel, because that's where
Cozumel.
I was just in Cozumel on vacation. So
I don't remember if that's the right way to say that.
I saw her on the boat. I was like, "Fuck, what are you doing in Cozumel?" I was just driving past that on the way to the resort. So what do you do? What do you do?
I do things. I have a podcast.
You do a podcast now?
He's been shirking us the whole time.
Oh, that's why I was asking questions. But,
Yeah. What do you do?
It's called Rocker Groovecast.
Okay.
And it's a local, just music advocating podcast. I interview local artists.
Awesome.
I post live shows. I'll do like festival previews. For example, Sterling Ameribeats this weekend.
That's this weekend, yeah,
So
Sterling.
I put out an episode completely dedicated to that. So it's really just my way of giving back to the music community.
That's awesome. That's definitely awesome.
So
Yeah,
I saw what you guys are doing. I was like, I think that looks like a podcast.
Yeah.
That looks slightly familiar.
Other than
I think I've done
your
this.
gear is far nicer than mine. Just got a portable little thing.
We started with a fucking
Cell phone.
a cell phone, and then we're just like, that's not enough. We need fucking fancy microphones and.
It should get out of control real quick.
This one. This is dripping. It's wet. It's
Do you guys just fucking show up
Sounds
at
like everything
bars?
I wanted
You just
it to
show up
be.
at bars and record?
everything that I want.
We ask ahead of time.
Oh, yeah, you don't just like,
we
So where have you been? Well,
we've done Windjammers. We did
Filgers.
the reunion. We did Villagers. That
Filgers.
was Filgers.
Filgers.
Actually, Filgers was we did a
That was the flat
debate.
Earth debate.
Yeah, we got some girl that thinks the Earth is flat, and then I brought a scientist, well, a biologist.
Geologist. Oh, yeah, she was a biologist.
Biologist. We brought her onto the show. Like, kind of know she knows her shit for sure, but she's a really good debater, and I've never seen her lose an argument. So I brought her on the show, and just fucking buried her. That girl got fucking buried. I almost felt bad. I thought she was gonna go home and fucking maybe self-harm, which I would have felt bad about. But like, she's like trying to explain that the Earth is flat, and I'm like,
that was her argument or what?
it was a like an organized debate. Like they had notes and shit like that, and I was
She
like,
pulled the Earth is flat card.
that was the debate was set up for was to argue about if the Earth was flat or not. You have to back up your story.
It's previous. Oh my lord.
That was our most successful podcast. I think we had like fucking 2,000 views.
We ended at
Holy
3,000.
shit.
That was the best.
There was a lot of build up to that. I mean, it was like worse than like fucking any.
Talking about it happening like a month before it actually happened.
There was 3,000 views and 2,000 comments.
These girls
On,
been,
on Facebook.
yeah,
See, that's what I haven't done at all.
yeah.
Facebooker?
Facebook Live is free.
We were saying I actually have a podcast.
Oh, you have one?
And it's unedited, but it's not filmed like live.
Yeah, we
And I
save
wonder
this.
if that sounds like it does is a great strategy for you.
Yeah, we save it and then we upload it onto YouTube too. So
But you can still watch the live stream.
yeah, but even when the live stream's over, you can always go back and rewatch it later too.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that do the second day, or I know there's a lot of people that'll watch us at work tomorrow. A lot of desk jockeys. Shout out to those desk jockeys. But yeah, a lot of people watch it. You know, it still feels like when we're doing it, I'm like, nobody really watches this. But then throughout the week, people are like, dude, that thing that happened, that was hysterical.
We miss a week and then people come into my job and be like, what happened on Tuesday?
Yeah, I walked into her. She works at the 7-Eleven on Letta, and I walked in there and fucking, they're like, you look familiar, and I'm like, what? And they were like, yeah. I was like, oh, you're Betsy's friend. I was like, yeah. I was like, I'm from the podcast. She's like, oh my god, you're from the podcast. I was like, yeah, talk about it right there. Oh my god. I was like, yo, shut the fuck down. And I get on the computer and just talk to my friends and just get weird. But no, it's a good time. Sometimes we get hundreds of people watching. Sometimes we get one.
It's like water cooler talk, but if the water cooler was filled with, let's say, jungle juice. That's what it seems like. You guys just fuck around.
Yeah.
Dan's not here, but we're gonna do.
Or anything?
Oh, we're good.
We're on Facebook at the Goons Watch
How's that spelled?
That is
For
something
the
we should
listeners?
absolutely look
Goon,
into.
Goon, G-O-O-N, Squad, Pubcast. Not podcast, pub. Because we do it at bars.
Oh, wow. Oh, I see a little thinking into the name.
It took a couple of beers to figure that one out. Yeah, we every Tuesday between 8 and 10 o'clock we start. We normally do like a 2-hour pubcast. Fun time. Just random people come on. We have tattoo artists come on, musicians. Ryan is a
We've got a lot of people in line. I know Jimmy Z's going to be on.
Yeah,
not
we got
too
Jimmy
long out.
Z's from Jimmy Z's.
Pretty
from,
excited about that.
Rockport. He's on the show.
Having Dan on was a big thing. We just had Austin Hunter from Vintage Electric on.
I had Ferg and Bale on. Ferg from my tattoo artist. Dan
coming on
Sativa. Betsy's mom will be on.
The Hispanic hotness is showing up. I'm excited.
Spicy Latina.
Invite me for that one.
We should have a parents' day. I'll invite my mom. You can bring your own.
I'll see if I can get my mom to do it wirelessly or like on the
Skype your
internet or
mom?
whatever. Yeah, I'll get Linda and Sergio on. Shout out
Bring
to
your
Mom's
parents to
mom.
work day.
Yeah, bring your parents to Pubcast Day. Yeah, that'd be funny.
Steve, you ever gone to a bar with your parents?
Once, and it was the bar that I worked at, and I had to work that night. So they came in and checked the place out, and I was like, "Yeah, this is where I do it." She's like, "That's cool." I was like, "You want a drink?" She's like, "No, that's okay." I told my mom, I was like, "You have to have a drink. Like, if you're coming into the bar, I'll buy you a drink." And my mom doesn't drink at all. And our bartender Jackie out in Havasu, she asked, my mom's like, "Oh, I'll get a mixed drink. Like, can you make a mixed drink? Something sweet and fruity." And she's like, "Oh, I know the exact drink for you." And I was like, "Jackie, don't fucking say it. Don't say it. The name of the drink's the motherfucker." Because some guy came up to the bar and said, "I need something that's sweet, but it's got to be grape, but no strawberry, and this, that." And she's like fucking bobbling around trying to make the drink. And she just fucking finally turned around and went, "Motherfucker!" And that was the name of the shot. And she's like, "I'll never fucking forget that. That was the greatest story I've ever heard in my life." I gotta ask her what the motherfucker is. I'm gonna send her a fucking Facebook message later tonight and ask her what's in that, and I'll let you guys know next week.
Your podcast again?
Rochester Groovecast.
Rochester Groovecast.
Where can you find it?
Facebook, SoundCloud, and some of the articles. That's your best bet. Some of the articles are on nysmusic.com. But if you want to find the podcast, it's on iTunes, Stitcher. But the home base is SoundCloud. Facebook is
Kind of like
social networking.
Yeah.
But SoundCloud,
Kind of linked up.
any podcast app, because you upload it to iTunes, then you can get it on Stitcher, you can get it on iTunes.
Exactly.
I've got a app, Podcast Addict. That's what I use, and it properly represents how much I consume podcasts. So.
Yeah, we want to start taking more than just the video itself. We want to get the audio actually compressed, and I'm going to run a separate line out of this and just have the audio of the podcast. Like the video, I don't really give a
You
fuck
can
about.
extract the audio from the video.
Exactly, I can break it down. I actually want to get a hard recording right off of this instead of being filtered through the computer, but we're in no rush. We're just having a good time. We fucking went a little heavy on the equipment, but it's cheap.
Oh fuck yeah, your equipment's great. So the Goon Squad Pubcast.
Yes, sir.
Goon Squad Pubcast.
I'm gonna stop out.
All right, man.
Probably head home.
Rochester
Groovecast, but I'll go ahead and I'll find you guys on Facebook.
Rochester Groovecast. Yeah, check us out. The Goon
You guys can
Squad.
find me there if you're listening.
Apparently we're having.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I just saw a bunch of mics and I was like, holy shit, it looks like they're filming something. Thanks, man. I'll check out the show.
Thank you.
She said it's funny.
Yeah, she said it was going kind of pixelated. I don't know if it's on this end or that end.
Are you okay?
I haven't heard. I was just wondering if there's anybody else that's listening in right now that's suffering with any technical difficulties.
It's telling me I only have one viewer, so that's how.
Besides not being able to see, my phone dead again. So.
It's recording. It'll be there. If it's pixelated, it's pixelated. The audio will still be there.
We have more light.
Yeah, you don't need to see my face anyway.
Yeah. If you need to see his face, go look at his Facebook, motherfuckers.
What?
Oh, I'm gonna interrupt because we fucking set this up.
Oh,
Normally,
for the fucking shots, bro.
to Bill Brasky.
To Bill Brasky!
And
Eats a lot of broccoli.
It's lots of broccoli. You may proceed.
I'm going to go ahead and get out there with the question.
Yeah, please. I was just saying outside. I was told that I was asked if any topic was off topic, and I said no, feel free. So I was wondering.
When it's going to get weird?
Yeah, when it's gonna get weird. The fucking sign on the bar says it's gonna get weird.
I don't think it's going to get that. I mean, I don't have any questions like, do you prefer brie or sharp cheddar? Something like that.
Definitely a sharp. I really like more of the Irish stuff because they tend to use a little bit of whiskey in their cheddar.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think I've ever had Irish cheese.
There's I can't think of the name of it. Dubliner. If you go to Wegmans in the cheese section, we just got some yesterday to go along with some of the fancy sausages that they have. It's like K-Star or Wegmans, but they have a Dubliner sharp cheddar that's done with whiskey, and it's not like American sharp, but it has this like weird smoky undertone. And I had my girlfriend Ombre right out last night, and she said no, it's much too fucking intense, and that woman knows intense.
That's very cool. I don't like sharp. For some reason, it just doesn't sit in my mouth right.
I like it.
That's what she said.
I like mild and like more flat cheese.
Sliced.
Like brie, I love brie.
Like rice-a-roni is too like spicy for you?
No, not at that level, but so fucking cheese.
They have ghost pepper cheese at the public market. I got some last
So
year.
much good there.
It was like a pretty big block too for $3.
What do you mean, like
I couldn't even finish it.
small
You know why it was a really big block for $3? Because nobody else was buying that shit. It's
But it was
ghost pepper.
so good though.
It's there's a difference between hot and really tasty and hot and just like fuck you, mom.
It was, and the fun part was, I'm thinking to myself, I don't see, I love cheese. My roommate does not eat cheese at all. Anything dairy that goes.
Let's
in
fuck with my roommate.
all mine. And I'm like, yes. They're like, I had this block of cheese. I'm probably gonna eat it in 2 or 3 days. I probably took like a month and a half to eat maybe half of it, and then I just threw the rest of it.
Do you just eat like a little slice at a time because it's super
That
hot?
particular block I had to. I usually eat multiple slices at a time.
With a cracker, like specific type of cracker, or
I just eat it right.
I normally do like there's a specific meat, a sausage, and a type of cracker, like those Ritz flip crackers. Half cracker, half pretzel.
Podcast, we're talking about crackers?
Fuck yeah.
We're actually talking about cheese.
Cheese crackers
It's
and
cracker, not cracker. You can't use the hard R.
the meat.
Hard art, that's hard.
It's the hard R. I don't even know what side is what. Doesn't matter.
So you had a question before we got to brie or cheddar.
At what point did you get to that level where you're like, I need to tattoo my face?
I think it was a little bit before my face that I got to the point where I decided it was tattooing my hands, and it was in a Macy's. It was in a freaking McCurdy's. It was in a random freaking store where I'm riding up the escalator, and I see a woman standing behind me, and she clutches her purse and pulls it into her. Or I get into an elevator at JCPenney's to go to the second floor, because that's where the pots and pans are. You know? And a woman grabs her child and pulls the child into her, and I was like, I'm really not that much of a bad guy. So I actually started my next step into tattooing or being totally tattooed, which was getting a little ducky put on my hand. So I got this cute little duck on my hand going, yo, all these bitches think I'm hard. How hard can a hard R be? It's a cracker. The little ducky on his hand. So I started with that. But the day that I finally got my tattoos on my face done, it was only about 5, 6 years ago. And it started with the Facebook post, Grandma, Mom, I'm really freaking sorry.
Okay.
I'm getting my face tattooed. Worst part about getting my face tattooed wasn't the tattoo. It was the fact that the following Friday, I completely forgot that I was supposed to be the minister, the pastor, the person who enunciates a whole wedding for my cousin Jenna. So I got my face tattooed, put it on Facebook, and my uncle messages me and goes, "You know, we all really love you a lot, but
We found somebody else.
there's people on my daughter's fiance's side that just they're not going to be okay with that." I'm like, "Uncle Dean, it's okay." "Sorry, Uncle Dean, I'm throwing your name out there."
Thanks, Uncle Dean.
But I told him, I was like, "It's okay. I know. I did this thing. I've been talking about it for so many years, and I finally did it." I'd been trying to get my face tattooed for prior to that, probably about 10 years, but it just never worked out. So when I finally got it done, it just felt right, and I knew it had to be done, and I got my face tattooed, and my Uncle Dean's messaged me, and he's like, "I'm really sorry, you just can't do the wedding. We all love you, but the other half of the family." So I show up to the wedding, after all the conversations and everything. Next thing you know, I'm dancing with my cousin's husband's grandmother. And she's like, "You're the cutest son of a bitch ever, you little hot tattooed motherfucker." And I'm like, "What the hell?"
I promised my mom when I started getting tattooed that I'd never go below the elbows.
How'd that work out?
Yeah. I would never do my hands.
How'd that work out?
I would never do my fingers.
I'm just going to say again.
How did that work out?
I feel like my theory on tattoos when I started was, it's not even right. I decided, being that, now this is not going to jive with you guys, so I'm just going to put it out
Don't you
there.
fucking do it. Don't you
How do
jive.
you know?
Don't
Spit
you,
on it. Spit on it first.
Don't you jive with us.
Before you say it, spit on it.
I knew you were a spitter.
Here's the deal.
That's not polite.
Growing up being Catholic,
Exactly.
I have a big conflict with tattoos because you're not supposed to do that. I mean, being Catholic, you're not supposed to do anything.
Yeah,
anyway,
you're wearing
but-
mixed fabrics.
Just about
Sinner.
But nonetheless, it's like a big thing for me because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get tattooed. And then when I was in college, my best friend at the time bought me my first tattoo. It was a $50 gift certificate for a tattoo. And I was like, I went to the shop. I was like, what can I get with $50? Now I know this is supposed to go towards another tattoo.
Not much.
This is early 90s?
This was 03.
Okay.
He-
Early 90s, I meant 96. That's when I got my first tattoo, so.
Yeah, $50 to get you like, yeah.
Yeah, I went into the.
How about a Kermit the Frog?
And I was like, what can I get for $50? And I'm like, man, I'm gonna get like something crazy. And he's like, word.
Yeah.
It only has 3 letters.
Yeah.
Choose carefully.
Well, I was like, okay,
He's gonna say bad.
Cat.
what can I get? So I got my high school nickname tattooed on my arm. Odie.
Oh, that's the story.
Little tiny tattoo.
That's the story of the Odie tattoo. Yeah.
Odie from Garfield?
Then he got it added on to. It just said Odie for a while.
When I was younger, my mom told me that she thought of me like a. Well, it started at a party. There was 2 Daves, and everybody started calling me Other Dave, and then it condensed down to OD. And then people were calling me OD in front of my mom, and my mom just assumed Odie was a big, dumb, slobbery white dog. I'm a big, dumb, slobbery white guy, so it just made sense.
That's the story behind Odie, is Other Dave.
So my mom started saying it, and
I had
my
no
18th
idea.
birthday party, we put it on a cup, and it just stuck. That was it. It was
I've known you since fucking, what, middle school?
yeah.
And I've never fucking heard that story. I had no idea why they called him Odie.
I just want to go back to the mom yelling at you. My mom used to yell at me for rubbing it on cups as well.
I don't know. I don't want the backstory on that.
So in Arizona, so I got that, and then I came back, and I was like, well, my buddy Jay.
Cheers. Stop rubbing it on things.
Apparently he likes broccoli.
Yeah, I do
Eats
a,
lots of broccoli.
I
Eats
do
a lot?
I do a cheers, salute, sláinte, prost. And he doesn't fucking understand what I'm saying, so he goes, eats a lots of broccoli. So there's, yeah.
It's been a thing.
I learned something today, and you just learned something today. OD, I mean, that's new. Other Dave.
I thought it was O-D-I-E.
It is now.
My
Mom converted it.
My mom, when we remember like AOL Instant Messenger?
Stevie 3K 3000.
Yeah. Steve,
Hey, well, Instant Messenger, you mean it?
don't worry about my ears.
If you didn't see that, he just took his headset off.
Turn on their computer.
You left a message or something like that, and like my away message when that was a thing, my mom's like, "Who's Odai?" I was like, "What the fuck do you mean Odai?" I was like, "It's Odie, stupid." She used to get mad about so many stupid things.
Mom, leave me alone.
Yeah, like getting a tattoo. I got a tattoo that was
My mom still gets mad at me for so many stupid things.
like a tattoo like that big. My mom's like, "What the fuck are you doing to your body?" I was like, "Just fucking wait. Just fucking wait. It's
I
gonna
remember
get
my
worse."
very first tattoo. It's on like underneath the neck, and my mom.
Would that be above the back?
The space in between, like right in between.
The neck?
Not quite the neck, not quite the back.
The nape? Not quite my pussy, not quite my pussy, not quite my crack.
My neck and my back.
The nape, yes, the nape. I got
The nape.
that.
Now we're using words.
She only agreed to it because my buddy said for her birthday, I want to take her to get a piercing. So that's what the plan was. We were going to go to my good friend Jason Morningstar, and he was going to
Jason's
pierce me.
amazing.
He
He's
is
still
the
amazing
only
to
man
this
I would
day.
let
Yeah.
pierce me.
He's the only man that has held my penis multiple times with a sharp object next to it.
Right.
I'm sorry, the only man that I paid to hold my penis with a sharp object next to it.
I was saying, how many women have used that? But
But I just love him. He's awesome. I've been going to him for
Dave's losing it. Let Dave get it up.
The show is here
What just happened 5 seconds ago?
I didn't say it.
No, we're done. It's already happened. If you caught it, you can mark it on the greatest evers.
Wait, what time is it? Timestamp.
Timestamp, we do this every week. Like, there would just be like, we're gonna do
A moment.
We're gonna do a highlight reel and just fucking like the best of the week and the best of the podcast. Sometimes there's just fucking lines and stories like that. I paid a man to hold my dick with a sharp object.
Multiple times.
Multiple times. And I enjoyed it.
My favorite one so far has been Betsy's shoes.
I didn't say I enjoyed it, by the way.
When Betsy, when you were on the cruise, and we were like, what shoes did you wear? Actually, the brown ones. And Steve and I at the same time were like, oh.
And I was like, oh, what? No. I really was so self-conscious about the shoes I brought after that.
So what did you tattoo on your dick without showing us?
That doesn't sound like fun. But apparently I
It sounds safe.
wasn't sure if I dressed for radio tonight, so it's safe.
Or you can just tell us about it.
Yeah, this is probably around 2001, 2002. I actually did a handlebar mustache on the on my shaft on the side. So it was really big at the point. Everybody was like putting handlebar mustaches on their fingers.
Yeah, I didn't get that whole face.
No, I didn't put it on my.
No, but I'm saying the whole idea.
I didn't understand it either, which is why at the point.
Dick.
Well, no. So I ran this contest. There was a website called BME Zine.
I remember BME.
Yeah, BME Zine, Shannon Lorette, fucking, like, he literally opened up this world of body modification online to everybody around the world. He passed away probably about several years ago. Funny side story, it was only about 3 years ago that I realized that several did not mean 7. But now I can use several properly in a contextual context, you know, it's just one of those things. So Shannon Lorette at BME Zine and opened up the world of body modification to myself as well as so many people.
I remember looking for like tattoo ideas and going to that website, and that's really what got me into my first idea. I was like, holy fuck, there's a lot more than just what you see on the wall.
Well, there's a level of, cool, so you have your navel pierced, but you think an eyebrow piercing is way too much for you.
Yeah, and then
But then you realize that, like, an eyebrow piercing is way too much for you, but there's a person above you and below you. There's so many echelons of what you're willing to do to your own body. So on this website, BME Zine, I met so many people that were so much more into it and so much less. But I ran a contest on that site, and it was basically a what should I have tattooed on my junk contest. And winner of that received a drawing of their choice that I would draw for them. I don't think I ever paid out, so, you know, whatever. It's way back when, don't judge me. But the person that won the contest came up with the handlebar mustache. There was other submissions where I was supposed to do a scuba diver holding a pearl, like down the shaft. There was one where it was supposed to be like a spring wrapping around the shaft, and the whole head of my penis was supposed to be a boxing glove. The
supposed to be like a one-up mushroom from Super Mario. Yeah. There was like so many stupid ones, but for some reason I went with the handlebar mustache.
You got to, you can get nuts with that.
To complete this tattoo, is this something that you have to build up for, or is that like...
No, and that's the thing. I've done...
You have to be hard to get tattooed.
When I say multiple penile tattoos that I've done, I don't mean on myself. I mean in general over the years on multiple guys. It's one of those things where there has been an occasion where there's been someone who's like I'm tattooing and
a little roused.
They stay a little too hard, a little too long. But most guys, no.
Hurry up!
It basically comes down to apply the stencil on the shaft or the head or wherever it has to go. You wrap the shaft around like either a plastic wrapped water bottle or a tennis ball and you stretch it out. Yeah, and you tattoo it. Most guys don't stay hard. They don't think about it.
But I mean, do you have to get hard initially to do it?
No.
Just flick it every once in a while.
It's going to be the same size, semi-soft to when it's fully erect. Okay. But I did have one guy.
Yeah, the skin's not going to change.
You just have to stretch the skin.
Years and years ago, it was probably my second or third one that I had to do. This little like corn husking, hay baling, red-headed guy, maybe 150 pounds.
Yes.
150 pounds.
Yes, hello. I'm 190.
5 foot nothing. Walks in a Canadian tuxedo and he talks about. He walks in and he's like, I want to get this tattoo on my penis for my wife. She was going in through surgery and had a lot of stuff, so they hadn't been able to have sex in a while. So.
What that mouth do?
Yeah. What'd the anus like? What'd your proctologist say?
Period. What you did it. Butt sex.
Yeah. So he comes in, he tells me that they're not allowed to have sex by doctor's orders. But his wife and him have this like code name for his penis, and it was Stinger. And it was Stinger from Lord of the Rings. So I'm thinking this little sword that a hobbit holds, you know, I'm like...
Actual size.
Yeah. 3 inches? I'm thinking like my own dick. I'm like, if I give him 2.5, there's still going to be a little bit of room to play. So I draw up this design. He comes in, and he sits down, he goes, yeah, that's perfect. He literally drops a baby arm on the table. If you can hear this, I mean, it was like...
Yeah, I heard that one.
So
thanks, Stinger.
He drops his baby arm on the table, and I'm looking at it like, what the fuck?
You poor motherfucker, but you lucky.
I drew the tattoo like 5 times too small.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
We're going to have to expand this. Literally.
So, no, I didn't expand it because I didn't want to hold it any longer than I had to. So I do this tattoo. I get everything done.
Just give it water while you were working?
Oh my God, spit on it twice. He brought in a kibble jar so that way he could eat while he was there. So I'm doing the tattoo. We finally finish up. I'm like, fuck, man, I spent way too long holding this guy's schwanz. So we get to the end of the night. I'm out at the bar.
You went to dinner?
Yes, with myself.
I noticed you got a baby arm.
So, I mean, he should have at least watched dinner. No, yeah, he should have. That's what I'm getting to, and this is like, it still traumatizes me to this day. Because I'm out at the bar, I got a fucking pint glass in my hand, and I'm holding on to this thing, and all I could think of is like, this thought, when somebody gets into a horrible car accident, they lose a limb, like an arm is severed, and 3 years later, they're sitting at a table with a family having Thanksgiving dinner, and their right arm is gone, but they can still feel an itch on their right hand. So it's called phantom limb syndrome. So the whole like rest of the night and the next 2 days afterwards, I'm walking around, and no matter how many times I wash my hand, this guy's dick was still in my freaking. I couldn't get rid of it.
I don't know how they call it the Stinger. I can't even put it together. I bet that thing fucking hurts.
Can you see me? No, you can't see the light over here. Yeah.
I think if I were him, I wouldn't necessarily, now I'm going to geek out a little bit, I wouldn't necessarily want the sword. I would just want that design, that inlay that's on the sword. Yeah,
almost like a fellowship from...
I would do that, and then maybe the inscription on the top.
Don't mind me, I have to go get another drink, because that fucking traumatized me again.
I would have just put... I would just put a label on it that said warning. Like, this is about to hurt.
I just painted black and yellow on it so people knew there was a problem.
Alright guys, well we are 1 and some change into this. We got another about 15 minutes at most.
Wow.
I got things going on tonight. I've been in the process of moving out of my old apartment into my new apartment. I moved down into the Seabreeze area.
Bad blood anywhere? You want to talk about it?
No, I'm actually really... I was dealing with some shit a couple, 2 weeks ago or something like that. I was not in a bad place, just in a bad mood. I was ignoring a lot of people. And just... That's
What, you yelled at me, Dad?
Yeah, I yell at everybody. I'm dealing with shit. I'm actually, right now, I'm not stressed out. I fucking got back on the double lines. I take my meds, and I'm a lot fucking happier than I was a week ago. I was a lot happier than I was a year ago, and new beginnings. Like, you move into a new place, it feels fucking good. I got a cool room, fucking 3 cool-ass dogs.
Hey, it was very cool. It was a very cool guy.
Yeah, cool neighbors, cool neighborhood. I'm right across the street from Seabreeze, so I'm going to go there with one of my friends and her daughter. We're going to go there this week. I made a promise, so fuck you if you're watching this. I'm definitely going.
Oh, that friend?
Yeah.
Hello, that friend.
I'm going to, yeah, we all know who she is.
How much longer did you say you have?
Probably about 15 minutes or so. I do an hour and a half. I mean, we can go all night long, man. That's what literally she said.
That's not true.
That's not what
I got
he...
15.
That's not what he did.
Yeah.
But no, I'm loving life right now, man. I'm doing my thing. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I mean, my old roommate was still one of my best friends in the world.
Are you getting it in on the regular? Look, I know y'all can't see it, but he went bright red.
It was at that moment Steve appreciated how
My old roommate, I'd like to give a shout out to my old roommate, Katie. I had an altercation with with the neighbors, and I just had to get the fuck out of there. Like, just crazy crackhead. Sorry to use the word loosely, but a Hispanic lady or Puerto Rican lady just fucking pulled a knife out on me, and I'm just like, fuck this. And I fucking moved out. I was like, I can't. And
Where were you living at the point? Now, besides with Katie?
Norton and Seneca area. And the neighbor, they were like, this is the second time that I got an altercation with this woman. And I'm a fucking simple man. I'm not a violent person. And this woman came walked up the
I've
driveway.
seen the scars on your legs. I don't believe you.
Yeah. My bedroom was on the downstairs in the back of the house. There's an addition that was put on years ago. Before she even bought the house. So you'd have to walk up the driveway in a fenced-in yard, and she started knocking on my door, or my window. And I was like, okay, who the fuck's knocking on my window? And she starts yelling and cursing in Spanish. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck? And I've already had an altercation with her that I actually had to call the police because she would not leave. She just kept pounding on my door and yelling and screaming. So this happened again, and I walked outside.
You didn't pull an Ari Shifar and go INS?
I would have pulled out a fucking gun, but no, I went outside and she's there with her daughter, and her daughter's like, Mommy, stop, and I'm like, yeah, you should probably fucking not do this in front of your fucking 8-year-old child. So
Meanwhile, it's 3 in the morning.
No, it's fucking 2 in the afternoon.
You should have said 3 in the morning. It really would have made that meanwhile.
Yeah. So she walks off the property, and she walks out of the end of the driveway on the tree lot, and my truck's out there with the boat, not the boat, but I have my truck with the boat trailer on it, because I just launched a boat. I went there to go pick some shit up, and she's yelling and fucking hitting the hood of my car I like doing that to the microphone. Just fucking slap my car yo, bitch, what the fuck do you think you're doing? What the fuck are you doing? And she's cursing some guy, homeless guy's walking by with a shopping cart. She's yelling at him in Spanish yeah, this fucking blah, 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 blah.
His shopping cart's filled with everything from Aldi's.
Yeah,
It depends
probably.
on what she said. I don't know what she said.
So, I don't want you to translate that. So, I walked outside on the front porch, and I'm just like, yo, you need to calm down. You need to stop yelling. You need to go home. She's my fucking neighbor. You live, from here to that mannequin. You guys can't see that, but it's fucking
14 feet.
Yeah, 10, 15 feet away. And she's refusing to leave, and I fucking walk out. We got a gate on our porch. And I just yo, just go home. All the neighbors are coming outside of our house watching someone lose their fucking mind. And I'm just you're yelling noise. Like,
World Star?
just World Star. And I was like, go the fuck home. Just like, I kept saying, go the fuck home. And she walked up to me, reached into her pocket, and pulled out a fucking box cutter. And I'm like, all right, that's it. I grabbed a baseball bat. I was like, I fucking dare you. I fucking dare you. And she just kept fucking approaching me. I locked myself in the house, called 911. I was like, fuck this. I was like, I'm not going to fucking prison and fucking beating this bitch in the head with a bat.
I really thought this was like going to be fun.
I hit her.
No, that escalated really fast. I just thought that was like going to be really funny. And
Yeah, I was talking about...
Did she ever explain what she was yelling about?
I
Like,
have no idea.
she was just yelling.
No idea. She's like, I think at one point she said somebody's in the house that I don't know, but I've lived in the house for 7 months, and she knows my truck, and she knows what I drive, and like what the fuck I look like, and she watched me pull into the driveway or in front of the house. She knows who the fuck I am. So that stresses off my shoulders now. So now I'm in a better place. I wouldn't say a better place, a different atmosphere.
He's now over at 347 Semeo, right downtown. Stop by, say hi.
Shit, don't. She's watching. We were friends on Facebook. No, so yeah, life's going good. So,
That's awesome.
yeah,
I had
rid of that stressful situation.
I got some really super exciting news at work that I can't talk about.
Are you pregnant?
But it's super exciting.
Talk
You've
about?
done this to us twice.
You
now.
cannot talk about.
I can't talk about it yet.
At work?
I can just tell you that it's super exciting, something really awesome.
I've got really super exciting news about the fact that my girlfriend is not pregnant, but I cannot tell you about it.
Wait. Yes. What? Why can't you tell us about it?
Well, because it's something that hasn't finalized yet, and I'm not because it's not a public knowledge yet. I can't.
Can you like?
Come on, say it.
Can you vaguely tell us what's going on?
I can say that
You can't start a story and say, "Oh, I got some really good news."
One time that I was with three guns.
if it goes well, it could mean that I get maybe
A thing that you cannot talk about.
and
You're gonna get a what?
raise in salary.
Yay.
I get more pickles on my sandwiches now.
I get more pickles.
I do like more pickles.
Yeah. Extra pickles, please. Now speaking of which, I want Taco Bell.
And it may
Pickles
mean
have nothing
that
to do with it, but I want Taco Bell.
it could mean that I could be closer to my daughter.
That's good.
That's fucking.
That's the best.
That's what you
That's
do.
the awesome. Let off with it. Yeah.
Well, that means you would be moving.
Oh shit.
No, see,
Foreshadowing.
we went like this, then we went like this, then we went like this.
Is
Now we're down here. I know you guys can't see my hands. but that was
anybody that, like online that's listening, watching, have they seen like the OA or like not Sixth Sense, but another show that I'm going to be really vague about because I can't think of the goddamn name of it, Stranger Things. Yeah, it was kind of like you should have let off with the, you know what, some awesome shit is happening. I might get to be closer to my daughter.
But here's the other details that I can't
Can't
tell you
talk
about.
about. I get to be closer to my daughter. No, that's fucking cool as hell.
Yeah, so
It really is.
I'm pretty excited. And
Be excited as well.
I'm hoping that everything goes through smooth and I don't lose my job. That would be good. That's a thing.
Yeah, she's not in like Buffalo or something.
What's that?
She's not in Buffalo.
Your daughter?
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. I didn't realize that.
Baby Mama Becca lives out in big badass Buffalo.
Yeah, where's big ass badass Holy Ben with his bad bow and big
It's going to be rough.
Benjamin, I'm going to tell you right now because I know he's going to watch it later. You've been doing a shitty job of keeping up with us.
Yeah,
Getting all these
second
texts.
week down into the comment section.
I
Ben.
miss you.
I'm not going to ask who Benjamin is, but I can only guess that his baby mama knew.
Oh, big no. Benjamin
He's
said a
our-
guy that lives out in Colorado.
He's our weekly commentator. He's been a friend of mine for a very long time.
He's in the military.
And he will be here soon. I found out.
Which
Did he say
branch?
he was coming in August or September?
He's in the Army.
I won't hold that
He's
against
in the Air Force.
He's in the Air Force.
He's a, that's a different story.
I believe he's in the Air
Sorry, Benjamin.
But
I really like you guys.
yeah, I'm really excited. He should be home soon.
Oh, he's
going to be one of our guests.
That's years.
I'm going to message
This
him
is
about
totally
that
different
later.
because you guys don't hear what I hear. That's
true.
You guys are talking.
And loud.
I hear everything. No, it's awesome.
Oh,
I
okay.
live in a different world over here.
He's like, I'm into their conversation over there.
Yeah, like that girl's over there talking about butt plugs. I'm like,
Hey, excuse me, lady with the butt plug.
hey, butt plug. One person
if you want to come over and talk about butt plugs, we're up.
Yeah, I forgot. We were supposed to talk about fidget spinners. We were supposed to talk about fidget spinners. I made a fucking post about it. Like, shoved his dick in a fidget spinner or tried to?
No, the worst part about it was a meme that, like, came out, and it was just, like, a picture, and it was, like, things you deal with in the ER. And it was, like, the list on the wall for any ER nurse, and it said, man has cut toe, person broke thumb, firework exploded, fidget spinner stuck on penis.
Tiny ass.
No, that whole, how much lube did it take to pull the head of through the...
That's what I'm saying. How big was the fidget spinner? But yeah, it's...
Maybe he was doing that fidget spinner
How
trick where
small was your
you
fucking
put the
dick?
fidget spinner on your dick, you spin it, and it got stuck on the...
No, it just said man with fidget spinner stuck on penis.
If it said man, I'm gonna assume he was pretty full developed.
I saw a picture the other day. Some girl put 2 fidget spinners in her bra, and I was like,
That's funny. I saw one the other day where it was a fidget spinner butt, but in all honesty,
oh, did I get a picture of it on my phone?
but there's no way that fidget spinner butt plug was real because it would have gone. I mean, it wouldn't have spun.
It would have spun the ass cheeks would have been too close.
Exactly. Would have been too much.
Where the fuck is that?
It's not right.
It's
Don't be done with
spin it, baby. Spin it, baby.
not working.
Did I get that?
It's like that internet video of the guy just hitting his dick. What, fidget spinner?
No, I've got the picture of the butt.
Oh my god.
Nobody needs it doesn't work. I promise you. We tried it.
Nobody can
Unless you
see
got
us.
no ass, maybe.
We tried it the other night. I fucking farted once and it stopped.
Where the fuck is that picture?
Unless you have the right butt plug and it goes.
You ever used a sex toy that was super fucking strange?
Yeah. It's definitely real.
Oh, it's definitely real, but it's glued on, and as soon as that thing goes, there's no way it's spinning.
What about you?
A sex toy that is strange.
Weird sex toys?
Yeah, somebody just like placed it on there.
I've used sex toys with other people that are illogically shaped and or not naturally shaped.
Yeah, they don't make any sense.
No, nothing that doesn't make any sense.
Like a Buzz Lightyear toy.
This is Pope John Paul the fucking 48th fucking butt plug. Like, no, they still fit in there. I'm just saying, but cephalopod, octopus shaped.
I've used a tentacle. Tentacle.
That's what I'm saying. It's not illogically shaped. It still goes in, it rolls around, and when you really look at the natural curvature of it, it hits the spot.
Ombre says, so do we get to take a picture of me wearing the mustache? I just saw that comment.
Yes, baby, we do.
The comments are loading up on
You will be. Yes.
Yeah. I'm assuming that's going to have a mustache.
We can post it to your Tumblr, your Twitter, your whatever the hell you want to do.
Twittergram, Facebook, my book face.
It's not going to go on the burlesque page, obviously, but yeah, we can put that wherever you want to put it.
And
There's nothing that I'm shy.
You got your comment liked.
That was the thing. So as we're getting set up, as you guys are like setting all this up, I actually messaged you. I was like, so Steve hit me up and he goes, is there anything that's off limits?
Yeah, we've got.
And I said, no, really. Everything is, it's all available. Like whatever you want to say, I'll answer. So I had to message her, and I go,
is there certain things you don't want me to say?
Yeah. And I said, between your life and my life, and I know we both lead very similar lives, and we're both in the forefront. I said, is there anything that you don't want me to talk about? Or is there anything where if I'm asked,
should I answer in different ways? Yeah.
Should I answer a specific way? And she goes, no. This is the name that I do for burlesque. You know, this is the name that...
Let's give her a fucking shout out for what she does. She's a burlesque dancer.
Yes.
So it's not nude.
No.
It's the tease of it.
Burlesque.
I guess. I don't know the whole concept.
No, burlesque is a pretty amazing thing.
I've seen it.
Yeah,
It's fucking phenomenal.
it's one of those. You remember back in the day, you'd see like 1940s, 1930s, you'd see the USO guys that are waiting overseas in Japan and Korea and all these places, Germany, and you'd see the woman showing up and she's scantily clad and she'd like run feathers across or do the balloon dance and pop. So burlesque is the art of the striptease without truly showing anything.
Yeah.
When you get to the end of the burlesque dance, it's normally scantily clad woman with pasties on top.
And then they go like that.
Yeah, they do that whole fucking.
I love it.
Amazing.
I think I got this. That's my eyes. I can't see. So, Ombre. She does burlesque. Oh shit! And she's Pouty Olivier.
That's what
Is her stage name. Yeah, her stage name. So she does all this scantily clad yet still seductive,
Classy.
risque, like class.
Classy. That's not some girl spinning around a pole going, fucking give me a dollar.
Oh, no, that can be still very good as well.
No, I love that. Still love strippers.
What she does in her troupe, she's the one that started Bewitched Sideshow. Or, I'm sorry, Bewitched Burlesque. And it was her, and then Reagan, her co-founder, came along. And they have a show coming up in Abilene, Chestnut, I believe it is. Abilene Bar and Lounge. It's a really great place. We were talking about earlier before it got like reset. And I said there's specific bars and joints that will only do one style of music. Abilene is an amazing joint, but that's the one style of music they normally do. They're also doing burlesque now as well. So Bewitched Burlesque. My girlfriend Amber,
Love that shit.
that's what I'm trying to do. So that's what I'm trying to do. So Bewitched Burlesque is going to be performing there, and now I'm going to go back and like pull up a date because that's what I said. I had asked her there's certain dates. So Bewitched Burlesque is going to be at Abilene's on August 5th.
Check that out for sure.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the band Volbeat? A lot of people know who they are. It's like a Danish band. The guy's Danish.
Oh, I love Danish.
Yeah, he's
I prefer strudel.
He's funny. They got a song called Lola Montez. It's a Mexican woman from like the 1800s who's a burlesque dancer. And like the whole song goes, "Don't look in your eyes, you might fall and find the love of your life." And like I was like watching this video and I was like, "Oh, like that makes sense. That girl doesn't have to get naked to fucking to flaunt her sexuality. She can tease you with it, but like just by looking at her eye or
I
something."
posted up one the other day that was like, totally missed it, but I was going to say it was like, my girlfriend, the person that I'm with, she doesn't have to look nice. She's not nice. Art isn't nice. Art is supposed to make you feel something, and that's what a woman should truly make you feel. Is something. Does she look pretty? Does she look beautiful? She doesn't have to look pretty. She doesn't have to look beautiful. And that's
Gotta make you feel something.
That's how any woman should be. She should make you feel something more than anything else. And
You're more than just a boner. Right?
Yeah.
You're more than just a boner.
you're more than just a causal fixation.
I'm gonna pee, and then when I come back,
vagina.
we're gonna start wrapping up. You guys can talk amongst yourselves for a minute.
Just gonna run there like next couple shows right quick. So as I was saying, like Abilene Bar and Lounge over on Chestnut, I believe it is. We got the show over there on August 5th. Then actually here where we're at tonight, Photo City Improv, 543 Atlantic. Danny Nielsen, freaking amazing guy. All the people work there. It's not just a specific metal, punk, rap, improv, burlesque. It's everything joint. The girls from the Bewitched Burlesque, they actually have a show coming up here on September 8th. Televisionaries and other amazing bands, including Are They? Yes, They Are. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome thing. So I think that was.
I want to come to the one that's going to be beer, or even my brewing place. That'd be cool.
Abilene's is amazing, and that was like I said, the joint right there, they only do really specific types because it fits the music genre that you're about.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with those places. Be it here, or be it Abilene, be it Bug Jar, be it Skylark, be it, freaking Lux or whoever. They're just doing their thing. There's no reason to exclude them from every single night or going to view any band or performer at the joint. All these places in Rochester are amazing individual places. Go see them. Go to a joint. Spend $4 or $5 on a local band that really wants to play out. Because you know what? Those bands that are playing out and they're not getting paid, like you think, oh, I gotta pay $5 to get into this joint.
Just fucking put you spent $5 on a fucking beer.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with 100%.
I just spent $9 on a double.
Yeah. Don't fucking go on Facebook pages and say I'm interested in going to events. Fucking just go. Just fucking go. Don't be interested. Don't say you're going and not show up either. A lot of people do that. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. A lot of venues anticipate fucking a certain amount of people coming, so they have to calculate shit.
I've thrown. You're gonna say you just saw a band, but I was gonna say I've thrown so many shows between my tattoo studio, between like putting on giant events where like people can be from out of state all over and it's all charity. It's really hard to count because it's like 183 people just said maybe.
So you count to 70.
Right. You go a third.
Yeah,
183 people. So you got, 60 people at most, which really means 45?
Yeah.
It really sucks. Don't commit to that shit.
Yeah.
So, do not send dick pics to females.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna look up this guy's name. I will put that.
Do not send dick pics. Timestamp. Do not do that.
I'm gonna put this guy on blast right now.
Don't do it. I don't care what you think is cool. Don't send dick pics to females. Not even unless she asked. Unless she sent you multiple pictures before. If she just asked for a dick pic, you're being set up. Wait.
Yeah, but I'm not ashamed. Like, if you want it, if you want it, you
ask you for a dick pic. Do the right thing as a man. And show up to where that bitch is and you lay it out on the table.
Woman's perspective. Do not send a dick pic when she asks for it. Show up at her goddamn job. If she works at a bank, put it on the fucking counter.
I think we'll make a deposit. Hold on, let me check my funds.
Oh my God.
You were gonna fucking... No, that wouldn't have worked well. Shit, I just broke a goddamn ring. That was so funny.
Oh, that was intense.
Ow. I really did. I really did break a ring.
Making deposits.
I'm sorry, Sean. I really broke that ring.
Sean Booth?
Yeah.
Aww.
No, that's alright.
Yeah, Sean's the one that
I can get it fixed.
He's the one that tattooed Amber's neck. Shout out to Sean Booth, fucking amazing tattoo artist. He did that Mandela, is that what it's called?
Yeah,
He's
Mandela.
on fucking Amber's neck.
Oh yeah, Sean
Fucking
Booth.
came out phenomenal.
He's been up here. He's been up here for pretty much the better part of a decade now, but he's been working in my studio for probably about 6, almost 7 years, man.
Yeah, he's from down south.
He's from all of the down south.
If you think about down south, go further south.
Yeah, Sean Booth is an amazing tattoo artist who's been pretty much all over the place. And when I say all over the place, I actually mean all over the world because he grew up like military style, father bringing him around.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah. But what it really comes down to with him is not only a phenomenal artist who can put just everything on your skin that you can come up with, but a solid-ass dude. He's been one of the people that's lived with me for the past couple years since the separation with my wife. So I can't thank him enough for being just like an amazing, solid person. Sean Booth, love you. Thank you.
Yeah, the fucking pedophile, Ozell Franklin.
We really just segued from his name to that.
No, I'm saying... I looked it up. No, Sean Booth good. Fucking Ozell Franklin bad.
Thank you. Need that.
No, I think Sean Booth's a really cool cat. He was super friendly. He was sitting there tattooing Amber's neck for fucking 7 or 8 hours.
And there was no dick pics involved.
There was not that I fucking hope not. No, was super down to earth, super friendly, and just like his artwork just reflected it. She brought in like a almost like a doily.
She brought in like it was basically like a lace leg piece that she had kind of showed, and it was like a macrame like doily piece. Yeah, I know exactly.
And he just fucking
something that your grandmother's teacup would have sit in.
Exactly. And then she's like, put that on my throat. I was like, hold on, we're gonna do a quick mute. I turned off the mic. Anyways, it is 10:45 in the evening.
So that means we all have time for one more drink before Steve decides it's too late.
I can go another 15 minutes, literally. If you want to do another 15 minutes, I'm going. Well, I mean, we'll do 20 minutes and round it up to 2 hours. It's up to you. You're the guest.
I have no problem saying.
Okay, let's do.
I'll tell you what. I'll put it this way: if Amber messages you in the next messages
yeah, there's Amber and Amber.
couple minutes and says he needs to get his ass home for the reason of he needs to get his ass home.
Yes. I mean,
we'll sit here. If she says he needs to get his ass home for the reason of he needs to get his ass home, we'll sit here.
I want to wear the mustache, is what she will say.
Daniel, where's my mustache?
I am the king of France. Old New York was once New Amsterdam. Why they changed it, I can't say.
These mannequins make me think of Steve standing back here.
Like there are people standing back there. They're not mannequins. Did you ever see? All right. Have you ever watched Doctor Who?
Oh my God! So that is the whole reason I don't watch Doctor Who. I don't understand what the fuck just happened with that thing.
No. But
I was like,
the reboot in
like
the late '90s, early 2000s, Christopher Eccleston, the Doctor Who, the ninth Doctor Who. Sorry, I just let everybody know how much of a fucking geek and dork I am, which I'm actually quite okay with. So Christopher Eccleston, Doctor Who, ninth Doctor. His first episode, he showed up, and it was like after the years without the bridge. Showed up in like all black leather, tall, skinny Doctor Who. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Not a clue.
First fucking episode, he showed up when they rebooted Doctor Who. All the goddamn mannequins came alive.
Right.
Fuck that shit.
That's exactly what happened. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm watching, and that ruined it.
Stop getting closer.
That's the first thing I saw. It's the first episode. I was like, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what it looks like. Everybody seems to be obsessed with it. I'm gonna see if I can get into it. And I watched the first episode, and the mannequins came alive, and I was like, nah, fuck this.
Christopher Eccleston. That was Christopher Eccleston. And the reason that I personally, so he was the ninth, and there was David Tennant, I believe, was the 10th, and then Matt, whatever fucking who was the amalgamation of every single Doctor Who after that, and then the newest Doctor Who, and I haven't seen it in a while. But the reason that I prefer Christopher Eccleston out of all
Doctor Who.
Yeah. Okay. The reason I prefer Eccleston out of all the Doctors was because he only did like half to 3/4 of the season, and the reason they recasted and he was no longer the Doctor was because there was like a stage actors, screenwriters, and like the people who basically stood behind the scenes and like put up all the lights and they did all the special effects. So they had a strike in the BBC, and Christopher Eccleston, he was only like 6 or 7 episodes into his first season.
Right.
He said, you know what? If you're not going to pay these people who work behind the set well enough that they need to strike, he said, I'm not going to be your Doctor Who, so I'm going to strike with him. The only problem with Doctor Who is he's such a rewritable character that if they need to rewrite him and bring in a new Doctor, they pretty much go, oh shit, he died, he just reformed himself.
Yeah, when I used to get tattooed by Fur, or I'd say used to, but when I was getting tattooed by Fur, he just like, oh, do you like Doctor Who? I was like, Doctor what? He's like, Doctor Who. I was like,
Doctor when?
And
Doctor what?
He got me into like, he's like, well, I was like, I need a backstory. He's like, no, you don't. He's like, every episode's different.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're sitting there for a 6-hour tattoo, and you go through 6 episodes. I think they're an hour long, or 45 minutes.
47, yeah.
Sorry, without commercials. And I'm sitting there, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Then I was like, what? Like, I got into it. I went home and I watched like just random episodes of it. I'm like,
Eccleston, though, that's why he's my favorite.
I didn't know. I know that there's a bunch of different characters. I know one. He was a younger British guy, obviously. I don't even
short,
like really younger, shorter, a little bit longer hair, I should say. I don't remember.
blonde or darker.
Dark hair.
That was probably one of the newer doctors.
It was new. It was a newer episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's David Tennant.
There was something. Yes, they were in a library for some reason. Something was happening that some.
Probably on an off planet, and there was a bunch
Yeah.
of dead people that were showing up in like space.
Yeah.
Yeah, this. Let me just say that they were all old astronauts wearing astronaut clothing in a library on another world. Yeah.
I want to say that sounds familiar as fuck. They had to keep going to different rooms.
I like Star Wars.
I downloaded the very first season of Doctor and I just never got it. Star Wars either.
I'm a big fan of Star Wars, but I'm also more of a trekker more than.
We'll hold it against you.
I'll hold it.
No, I agree. I'm just more of the in the future we could be as opposed to in a not so distant past in a galaxy far away.
No,
it's
that part
old,
always-
it's old knights. It's old knights versus what we could become as people.
Right.
I'm just thinking about Taco Bell. You guys are talking about Star Wars. I'm thinking about fucking
What about
beefcake Doritos.
all right? So Cochina Latina,
What?
Cocina Latina.
Oh yeah. Dewey and Stone.
Oh my god.
I went there twice. One of my coworkers was like, "Oh, we're gonna go get lunch." I was like, "We're gonna stop at Perry's." He was like, "Yeah, have fun. Eat your fucking garbage
Cocina,
pizza."
yeah.
The Latin kitchen, I think it is.
Do you want some cracklings on that?
I don't know what that is.
The cracklings, the pork crack.
Oh, pork, yeah.
Yeah.
I think I tried it once. I think I got like a rice bowl or something similar like that. It was fucking
Beef
mega.
and cheese empanadas to begin with. The potato balls are amazing.
Oh my god, my
I remember somebody crashed their car into the front end of that, in the front entrance of that place, and they were shut down for what seemed like almost a year. Like somebody ran into the bus stop, or crashed into the bus stop across the street in front of the Valero,
Yeah.
and then they crashed into the front end of the fucking the restaurant. Yeah.
Across the street. Those guys are pretty cool. Unfortunately, there's been a few too many machetes in the past year.
The gas station? Yeah, I remember watching that. You remember that video? The fucking gas station attack? Some guy, he got into a fight over nothing, over cutting him in line or something, and fucking went out in the parking lot. He's like, "You gonna do something?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fucking cut you up." And he did.
It's like where I'm from, we just cut your entire limb off. We don't fuck around with
Yeah,
that.
I watched that video. I was like, "Why is nobody doing anything about this?" Like, they're standing there filming it. Like, go out there and fucking tackle that dude. I know you're gonna get stabbed, but I'm gonna go inside and grab.
It's an old machete in the trunk of a fucking '84 Honda Civic, sitting next to a tire iron.
It's probably that's true.
Without fucking.
I would have got some Snapple
There's
bottles.
no air in it.
I would have got some Snapple bottles and started chucking them at his head. Like, "Yo, motherfucker, this might hurt."
Hacking people up. I don't know if I want to go in on that one.
I'd fucking try to defend. I try to defend a victim. I mean,
There's
that's.
a lot of shit that I did in like the early '90s with a bunch of females that I shouldn't have gone in on that were a lot less shady than that dealing with that guy.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So Betsy, you're talkative as fuck.
I'm getting sleepy.
You're what?
I'm really sleepy.
Okay, well, let's wrap it up then. I mean, we got fucking 2 hours into this. I mean,
Is there a get to?
we're at 1:48.
We did like 20 minutes into the other one too.
Yeah, we also had we also had a couple minutes into the other one. We haven't had any solid viewers this week. Are we losing interest? Are people not caring?
No, they can't fucking see what's going on, dude.
We're-
They're
looking at a black screen.
yeah, we don't. You don't. We're here to talk. You don't have to see us.
We're under the sea.
We're under the sea. The enchantment under the sea there, Michael J. Fox.
Under the sea edition.
I really.
Yeah, we're actually ready to wrap up in a minute.
Do you have anything else you want to plug? Anything else you want to say? Yeah, jump on. Yo. Fuck yeah, get over here.
Yeah, damn.
That's Hannah, right?
Hannah, yeah.
Hannah again. Hannah's back. She's
And back.
the booking agent or management.
Yeah, the
Okay.
manager.
Head of booking. Look at that. Hannah. We're gonna get Danny, the owner. Danny's the owner. Okay. Hannah. I know you guys can't see that. Hannah came over and sat down, and then stood right back up because I asked too many questions.
We'll turn the light off.
Okay. Dan?
Here it comes, guys.
I just really want Taco Bell.
That sounds amazing.
Sorry, he's got to talk to Hannah, the business manager.
You got it. Sometimes you gotta do business.
No, it's totally fine.
Good at business.
Good at business.
What
do you say?
Wake up in the
What
morning.
did that guy do? What would you call that?
Oh, man.
Would you say that's
so embarrassed.
So then you must be so embarrassed right now. Maybe you'd say this. I don't know. Too much tuna? Have you seen the Kroll Show before? It's on Comedy Central. It's Dick Kroll, stand-up comedian. I don't know if he's a stand-up comedian. I know he's a sketch actor.
There's a lot of times I like to say that I've seen something that I have not, so I can sound cool. But right now, this can be like fact-checked on the radio. I do not want to.
Go on. I think it's on Netflix or Hulu. Kroll. Nick. It's the Kroll Show. It was on Comedy Central. What happened to my headphones here? Anyways, he does skit comedy or sketch comedy, whatever you want to call it, and just fucking the dumbest fucking humor you can ever imagine, and it just fucking
Is it worse than Freddie Got Fingered? Because that's
No.
2 hours of my life. I will never get
Tom Green is not funny.
I'm sorry. I have friends who yell at me and think I'm an asshole. I'm like, I watched Freddie Got Fingered when it came out.
Daddy, would you like some sausage?
No, my fucking mouth started off with that. Like, okay, it's a person that I'm watching this. By the end of the time it was done, you could have put a fucking potato in it. It was that 2 hours of my life I will never get back, and I still have friends who yell at me going, "That was like comedic genius, man."
No.
And then
I
you have
didn't.
to wonder how the hell was Drew Barrymore to that man?
No. Nick Kroll does like
I hate it.
he does like 5-minute bits, like these little sketches. But like every episode, it'll be like a continuation of it, but they'll jump from story to story and back and forth. But they're just so far-fetched. Like there's a Canadian kid who's like,
Wheels Up Ontario.
Wheels of Ontario. The kid's like, oh hey Tunes, and they talk about loonies, and like it's just fucking stupid. But there's 2 guys. They're supposed to be like old. I guess would consider to be Jewish fucking guys living in New York City, and they're like, hi, I'm fucking so and so. And welcome to our prank TV show. It's called Too Much Tuna. So what we do is we get fucking guests on the show and we prank them. And what we do is we have the waiter bring out a fucking tuna sandwich, just a glob of fucking tuna fish.
I really wouldn't have too much of a problem with that.
And exactly. And one guy's like, he's like, would you say that's too
Do you
much
have
tuna?
any pepper?
Yeah. The guy's like, is that too much tuna? He's like, no, that's actually really cool. Like, I really want a lot of tuna fish.
You
It's
ever
just
go to
the
like
worst.
Commercial Street? Like, how much fried bologna is too much for a fucking fried bologna sandwich?
No, it's more.
3 1.5 inch slices of
Yeah,
fried bologna
yeah.
on their fried bologna sandwich.
I want that.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, but
It's $5. Yes, please.
where's this place?
Marshall Street.
Marshall Street.
It's
Oh,
like 3 giant
right in the corner?
Yeah, right around.
Yeah.
Are you hungry?
I want to go get some fucking fried bologna right now.
I love this place, Photo City, but they don't have fried bologna.
Yeah, you guys don't have fried bologna here. Let's work on that. No, the sketches. He's got another one. It's I don't know what country he's from. It's the spotted ox hostel. He's like, hello, foreign travelers. The accent just kills me.
Still sounds like another Norwegian.
Yeah, he's
All right,
something,
okay.
and he's like, "Oh, come to Europe. It'll be a very fun time. What we do in our daily life is, well, what we do is we start a day out with 2-3 bottles of red wine and a couple of chocolate flavored cigarettes. And all this. Yeah, just fucking stupid fucking humor. It's the greatest show I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely terrible.
All right, these 2 are yawning. We're trying to get the order in here to wrap up. We're going to give him a big shout out. Once again, guys, we are the Goonsquad Hubcast. I know that we haven't had 1 million viewers tonight, but we're still having fun. Dave's here with us. I'm always happy to see him.
Hello, you can't see me, but I can see you.
Betsy's here with us. I'm always happy to see her. We got Dan Ross, and we've got
Daniel Nielsen.
Oh, we got other Dan. We can't really see each other. Yeah, we've been dealing with that light, so it's cool.
Shouting
Yeah, that's not really working.
It's not.
No.
Guys, we're at the
You need to
Photo
do the
City Improv
light that's
and
red.
Comedy Club. Is that what you're considered to be?
Yeah, so we used to do comedy, and I took over the place about 6 months ago. January 14th was our opening day, and from that point on, we predominantly have turned into a live music club. We do burlesque shows as well. We sprinkle in a little bit of comedy. We bring in art shows too. So I mean, we're really like a plethora of different things, and anything to kind of tantalize your mind and your brain a little bit, and that's kind of what we do here. So
It's awesome. It's a fucking beautiful venue too. I love the chandeliers in that room.
Thank you.
It's like random things. It's like boom, there's chandeliers. Enjoy it.
Yeah, we've been working with James Von Sin as well, and he's got a great eye for decorating. So I give a lot of props to him, and I'm sitting right next to my venue manager here.
Hi, Hannah.
Yeah, Hannah's
Hey, I'm back.
I know you guys can't see him. There are people here.
Yeah, Hannah's been a big part. She's played a big role in this place too, and as well as Dan Ross bringing you guys in. We really appreciate you guys being here.
And we appreciate you guys fucking letting us rock out with our little podcast here. We're a simple group of people, but we're having a good time. This is a definitely cool venue. Even with the music in the background, the doors would open and it gave us a little bit of like, oh, listen to the band for a minute.
It's a little squeaky, the door, right? We don't want to put any WD-40 on it because it's kind of like our theme here. It's kind of creepy, kind of a little weird around here. So if you don't mind being creepy, don't mind being weird, having a good time, then this is a place to be.
It says it right behind the bar.
There's no
Let's get weird.
Green neon.
crap around
Get
here,
weird.
Yeah, guys, definitely. I've been in every fucking venue in the entire city. This place has got a fucking ambiance. It's fucking really comfortable and it's really cool. So definitely come down and check it out. And I listed, if you guys want to watch back earlier in the podcast, she listed off everything that's going to be here in the next couple weeks. Check out their Facebook, or don't send Hannah dick pics.
Don't do it. Do not do it.
Go to Dan Ross. Dan Ross like
She'll respond back with a picture of a
If you're
bigger
going to send
dick.
Hannah any dick pics, make sure they go through fax.
That's correct. Or, if there's a funny hat involved, I guess it's okay.
No. Don't do it.
No, you
Don't. I was like, I got 30 funny hats at home. I'll be right back.
So I have one.
Start telling guys it's okay. They'll figure out a way.
So I got one question. Next couple of weeks, everything that's going on, is there anything, Daniel, Hannah, that you guys think is going to be like a key out of town, a key
Yeah,
in town?
plug some big shows.
Yeah, I'll
plug
tell
all
you
of
what,
them.
I'm really excited for the Emerson's coming in on Friday night. That's going to be a great show. We also have Lydia Lunch on the 17th. That's a Monday. Lydia Lunch is a local pop star legend. If you haven't heard her, I suggest you check her out. She's really got some really powerful words behind her music, and she'll make your heart tremble. So that's the 17th, this Monday. That's going to be our biggest show, I think, that we've had so far. But yeah, we have some other great things going on. I think Hannah's got, her other favorites.
Can we make it difficult by saying if you mention the Goon Squad Pubcast, they get a $1 discount at the door?
You know what?
Just to make counting money different and hard.
Yeah, and if they show us their butt and they give us a nice moon, then
Then it's $2 off.
that's 75 cents.
If you need to deal with that, come up and ask for Dan Ross. Dan Ross will be dealing with all the discounts.
Oh, fucking, we're good? Awesome time, guys. Thank you for having us here.
Love it. Thank you. Hope to have you guys back.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys. We will fucking see you guys next week. Tuesday.
People see us.
Yeah, Tuesday between 8 and 10, whenever we start, until whenever the fuck we end. We had a really good time tonight. I'd like to thank Dan Ross for being our guest, having some laughs. Then we got a little worried that I was going to start murdering people because I got angry at my neighbor. But no, everything is good. We had a really good time tonight. You guys good? Everybody happy?
Yeah. I think till next week.
Fucking see you
Something
guys.
about not eating broccoli.
Something about eating broccoli.
Eats a lot of broccoli.
Eats lots of broccoli.
Lots and lots of.
We will see you guys next week. Fucking enjoy your night. Enjoy your weekend. Fucking stay safe. Don't drive home if you're drunk, motherfuckers.
Bye.